Good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Dalek 451, the new Dalek Emperor. How are you all doing tonight? And in case if any of you out there, I hope some of you have come over here from join me from Time Lord Spark's stream because if you have, very well, thank you for coming, welcome, and we already have the man of the hour himself, Captain Time Lord Spark. Hey, thank you for coming, sir, and come on up. Come up. The stream's in the chat, and so. And Hakim is here. Thank you. Let the battle wanky begin. Indeed, Hakim. Indeed. So, Captain, are you out there? You gonna join me? Yes, I hope you are. Wait, up in a minute. All right, sure. So, how's everyone doing tonight? I know it's too. Sorry for obviously not as usual. Not quite as chatty as the captain, but I'm sure I'll be a lot more once he actually joins me. So Hakim, how's things with you? How's things with you, pal? Is it? Here he is now, the man himself, Captain Time Lord Spock. Thank you for joining.
Yay!
All right.
Oh, you're big.
Press the wrong button. Press the wrong button.
The wrong button. Oh, in fact, I've just got a. There he is. Scotty's reappeared. I'll tell him we're here, and he might show up too.
Oh, Scotty, yeah. Oh, yeah, great. If he shows up here, that'll be a first. He's never been on my channel.
There you go. I've just sent him. Come up to Daleks. Hopefully, he'll find you. Because that's. I think we've solved Pulp Fiction. Mystery solved. Done. Lovely jubbly.
Great.
No, he's got to find out where my Enterprise is, and we're all happy. Well, now I can't wait for my copy of The Hateful Eight to come in the post. Or copies, both of them. Hopefully it's the two different versions.
There he is. Hail, Scotty. How you doing?
Ahoy! Coming up, Scotford. Tell us all about it.
Yes, please do. Please come and join us. It'll be a pleasure having you.
That's what she said.
Yeah, very well, Scotty says. Well, glad to hear it.
Very well. As you wish.
Since this is my stream on my channel, I bet my brother's watching.
I hope he is. Yeah, come on, Dalek 452. Where are you?
No. He's the older brother. So I call him. I think him 450. That's 450.
Oh, that's Dalek football, isn't it? Footy.
Something like that. And here he is. Hail, Scotty. Welcome to my channel.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Dalek. Ahoy. It's good to see you. Captain.
Ahoy.
How are you?
Very good, thanks. I had a really good show. I think we finally squared the circle, and I think Pulp Fiction sold, chapter done. Everything's great. Everything makes sense in the world of movies once more.
I'll have to rewatch that stream.
It was good. It was good. It was. We finally got there.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, I'm now really looking forward to watching The Hateful Eight. See, this is the thing. I did. We did give a shout out to both Tarantino and the Phantasmagorium because for both all parties concerned, it's not whether we disagree or agree. It's the fact that we're asking. It's the questions, Neo. And ultimately, if we all get more subs and Tarantino selling more copies of his movies because we're talking about them, then that's a good thing.
Well, and something that we covered on the Phantasmagorium is that if you would actually like to hear the opinions of Quentin Tarantino himself, he does have his own podcast with the guy that co-wrote Pulp Fiction with him.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes, it's a relatively new thing, but he's been talking about his favorite movies, and it's more of a video store curation that he really started his career with. And now, aside from being just a register jockey, he is one of the most prolific and respected filmmakers of the 20th and 21st centuries. So now it's like, okay, you will listen to every word I have to say. Sorry, Dalek, you mentioned that your brother was listening, so I don't know what the swear rules are.
Well, you can't say registered jockey.
Why not? I was a registered jockey.
I guess
No, you're right. You can.
I guess. Well, don't worry about the whole. Don't worry about swearing. Like I said, my brother's older than me, so.
Well, and okay, I just wanted to make sure, new channel etiquette. I don't want to come in here like a bull in a china shop, dropping F-bombs like it was my ass job.
I understand.
Hakeem in the chat, hello, thank you, ahoy.
Yeah, Hakeem says, "Hey, Scotty."
So yeah, what's going on? How is your day, Dalek?
It's not too bad. I think I slept. I think I slept for most of the day. No, I didn't sleep.
Lay in bed, tossing and turning.
Well, yeah, I spent most of the day laying in bed. Well, kind of reading, and then I got some writing done.
Delightful.
Ooh.
Yeah, do you know? Hey, do either of you know a guy called on YouTube called Dr. Alex?
I don't think I'm familiar. No.
I recommend you check him out because he has a channel and he does this special. He does his own Doctor Who series.
Oh.
Yeah, it's basically a what if kind of thing where this basically what if the series continued and it was still Peter Capaldi.
Oh, I like that kind of idea.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I think it was on Screen Rant or Collider or somewhere, and they were sort of looking back upon the Chibnall era of Doctor Who, and they were saying the only thing that Chris Chibnall did wrong was not write for the Doctor. He wrote for the companions.
Oh.
Wrote for the companions.
Yeah. And I found it to be a fairly compelling read just because it was even like I'm not that much of a fan of the companions of Jodie Whittaker's run, but that's also because I wasn't that much fun of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. And if she had been a better Doctor or a better written Doctor, then maybe I would have cared more for the companions. There are companions out there that I absolutely adore that other people hate, but I think that their relationship with the Doctor has been one of the strongest things that drew me to
Cara Oswald has entered the chat.
Okay, which all right, name one.
Cara Oswald.
Clara Oswald, and you know what? I was surprised to find out that people don't like Rose.
Well, that's a shame. I love Rose.
Mm-hmm. But there are people who don't. And Martha, I never really connected with Martha.
No, I liked Martha.
Yeah, but it was never a situation where I didn't like Martha or like, and Donna grew on me after a while.
I know
Who
what you
was
mean.
But
Yeah.
it was always it was the Doctor who drew me into the companions, as opposed to the companions humanizing or making the Doctor empathetic. It was always like, no, this is his TARDIS, or their TARDIS, if you want to go by the multi-gendered approach.
Hmm.
Um, like, but that it was always the Doctor was in charge, the companions were companions. And
Yeah.
I think with Jodie Whittaker, it was very much, she was like, oh, I got to save you. And it's like, no, you
That
don't.
is a
No, you
great
don't.
Swedish accent.
That's pretty much.
That was my best
I guess
German.
that. Yeah, I guess that was pretty much it. Yeah.
And so that's, and I just found it interesting and something that I hadn't considered before, because if it had been a stronger Doctor, not saying, again, nothing against Jodie Whittaker, more about the writing towards it and making the Doctor a more assertive, intelligent character as opposed to a passive, timid one.
Who scrunches their nose up at the first sign of trouble.
And decides it's absolutely fine to blow up the Amazon warehouse in space. Like, all those people. Or not. I forget. I fucking forget the show. I don't know. I didn't watch much of the Jodie Whittaker, so I
Uh,
can't even wax intellectual about it.
I only managed like 6 episodes with Jodie, and I was just like, no, I'm out.
Now, do you know much about the 60th anniversary coming up? Like, is Jodie going to be in it?
Yeah, I think she is, because
Uh,
I think that's because that's actually supposed to be her final episode.
like, that's the regeneration?
Yeah, that's the
That's cool.
regeneration.
So does that mean we're getting the new Doctor in the 60th, or is that going to be a
We,
whole new thing?
I think well, traditionally when we get a new Doctor, it's all they're always shown right at the end of the previous Doctor's last episode, but right after they regenerate.
That's true. But also, with the first appearance of Capaldi was in the 50th anniversary, and you only saw his attack eyebrows.
That's that's true.
Attack eyebrow.
So you just see, yeah, the very first glimpse we ever get of Capaldi is like, no sir, all 13, and then we get this we see him, and then we just get these glimpses of these bulging wild eyes, and it's great.
It's amazing. Well, and also it was sort of coupled with that was the first time that you actually saw all 12 on screen, even in flashbacks, cutaway, special effects, or whatever.
That's true. Yeah.
So it was kind of nice, and it was like, oh no, all 13, and it's like, oh heavens. And so I don't mind a regeneration, but also don't forget the 60th is going to be written by Russell T Davies and Chibnall, or just Russell T Davies.
No, oh no. I think it is just going to be Russell, because yeah, Chibnall's done.
Good. And well, all discredit to Mr. Chibnall. I didn't like his run, and I apologize. It wasn't my jam, but you did the Doctor dirty in my eyes. Sorry.
No, he did more than. Oh, he did more than that. He did the entirety of Doctor Who dirty.
Well, luckily we only watched 6 episodes, Dalek. We didn't necessarily have to sit through it or acknowledge it.
We don't have to acknowledge it, and that's not headcanon. Remember, retcons ain't canon. He retconned with a timeless child, therefore he wrote himself out the canon.
Exactly. As far as I'm concerned, no, I mean, nothing with Jodie happened. The show ended with Capaldi.
Well, yeah. We'll see. Like, I don't think I've seen a single full episode of Colin Baker.
Oh yeah, well, Colin Baker, he's definitely not, especially when he was on TV. He's not definitely wasn't one of the best loved Doctors, because some of the things he did were pretty dark. Especially, come on, right after he regenerated, he attacked Perry, literally attacked her.
Mm-hmm. And that's a Doctor that, like, I don't think really happened. Like, it's there, and I can visit it if I want, but that's what I love about Doctor Who, is I can go anywhere in space and time I want, and if I don't want to visit that particular Doctor, don't go to that place in space and time.
Yeah. I mean, I think I personally grew more fond of Colin Baker's Doctor over time, not just in the show, but also in. Do you know? Have you ever heard of a company called Big Finish?
Oh yeah, dude, you don't even have to explain it. Yeah, Big Finish rocks, and all the sort of hypothetical, or even they aren't canon, are they?
Well, they did.
Oh, it's debatable.
And they did try and tie in Big Finish with the show because I don't know if you've seen this, but in this there was this before the 50th anniversary special. There was a little short called Night of the Doctor. I mean, and Paul McGann.
With Paul McGann, yeah.
With Paul McGann was in it, and right before and near the end of that, right before he drinks the elixir of life, whatever it's
whatever the nuns give him.
That immortality stuff that the Sisterhood of Khan have. Yes. They because that's what that stuff is. It's the elixir of eternal life, whatever it's called, and the Sisterhood, they drink it. It makes them immortal.
Mm-hmm. Well, and isn't that part of the reason? Like, isn't that a retcon as to how Jodie got to be the 14th Doctor? Or 13th Doctor? I don't even know what the numbering system is anymore.
Yeah, it's
it's a very complex system. The numbering system is every time you add a Doctor, you +1 the number.
Right, but the introduction of the War Doctor makes it.
Yeah, officially there's been 13 Doctors, soon to be 14, and technically there's been 14 Doctors if you add John Hurt.
Yeah, and I do. Like that's when the numbering sort of went all wackadoo on me. Is that I feel like that was something where it was a record groove skip.
But what about Joanna Lumley?
Twice. I count her twice.
Joanna Lumley.
Well,
I saw Just for Laughs. No, Just for Laughs.
You do know that was
comic relief.
That was for a comic relief special, right?
Yeah. You mean it's not real? You mean it's not fiction?
No, it's not.
Comic relief is real, so it's
I thought
not real.
Hugh Grant was
real.
I thought Hugh Grant was a doctor.
I thought comic relief was a documentary.
In that comic relief thing, he was very briefly.
Yes.
Yeah, it started out It started out with what's his name? Rowan Atkinson as the Doctor.
And then Jonathan Pryce shows up as the Master.
As the Master.
That was so good. I love Jonathan Pryce whenever he shows up, and I was like, this is great. Yeah, I watched that that comic relief special a couple of times, and yeah, Joanna Lumley, and she's like, oh, this is more like it.
Yeah. Actually got officially Whittaker's the first female Doctor. Technically, Joanna Lumley is.
Yeah.
And personally, I'd have much preferred Joanna Lumley.
Well, and I'm sorry, I was just about to be like, oh, what about Ramona? And it's like, just because she's Gallifrey. Sorry? Romana. No, I do this all the time. Every time I say it North American, and everyone calls me a fucking idiot.
The Ramona.
No, and it's probably just
my Romana.
Okay, fine. I deserve this.
Yeah.
But Gallifreyan, not a doctor.
Yeah, Romana. Romana. She's not the Doctor at all, but she is a Time Lord or a Time Lady. She is Gallifreyan. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But either way, yeah, no. So, but I get what you mean. But Joanna Lumley. But again, that's out of canon. That's like saying that the. There's
James Bond is something.
Well, no, I was thinking more like William Shatner being on Saturday Night Live, where Dana Carvey plays Khan and Kevin Nealon was Spock.
Right, that's not canon.
That's not canon, but it's funny and it's kind of fun. It's cute. But yeah, no, I wouldn't go saying that Kevin Nealon is my favorite Spock.
Fair enough. Although he's damn sight better than that fucking Quinto.
I'm not arguing. Why do you think I went straight to Nealon?
So anyway, the point I was going to make was in Night of the Doctor, before Paul McGann actually drinks the potion to become the War Doctor, he names off a list of names of companions that he had in the Big Finish audio adventures.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, but also Paul McGann's Doctor, the eighth Doctor.
Yeah, he's the 8th Doctor.
Right. Sorry. See, I just wanted to prove to Captain I can count again. But
that's the third time you've done that, or is it?
Well,
the second?
I know. No, it's but yeah, and his resurgence as being a part of the 50th anniversary had a lot to do with Big Finish, didn't it?
I'm guessing it probably did. Yeah.
Because aside from that one American movie,
apart from his very first appearance in that one movie back in 1996, he never appeared on TV as the Doctor again until Night of the Doctor. But he has been the Doctor, played the Doctor many times in all the Big Finish stuff.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was right around the same time that I was getting, like, I knew where to research the things that I wanted to research on the internet, and that's when I started to really like Doctor Who, because some reason
his very first audio adventure was called Storm Warning.
Yeah.
Have you heard that one?
No. I'm telling you about my research, not my actual listening and watching. Okay. No, and that's the thing, is that I remember a lot of people saying that it was nice to see Paul McGann being brought back into the Big Finish audios, and this isn't like downloads or anything. This is when you could order the CDs, and And so it was definitely a labor of love for the audience, I think.
Because it was actually because it was back in like 2000 when Paul McGann actually started doing it, because and Peter Davison, Colin Baker, and Sylvester McCoy had already started doing it the year before in 1999.
Yep. Which is crazy. Like, what is it? Because I have, like, I do want to establish a little bit of cred, because I have seen some Doctor Who, some classic Doctor Who. I've basically skipped over the last half of the Tennant years and most of Matt Smith.
Well, that kind of goes back to what you were saying about Rose and Martha and Donna, and I mean especially Martha and Donna, because you're saying like you couldn't really get into the companions if you get into the current Doctor. Well, obviously, Martha and Donna, they were both alongside David Tennant back then. And everyone loved David Tennant. Hello?
David Tennant had personality. Personality goes a long way.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
We've lost Scotty.
Scotty!
Oh, dear. What's happened? Don't think.
What's going on?
Problem must be at his end.
Probably.
All right, then might as well take a quick gander at the chat here. Hakeem says, new question, but is Doctor Who an actual Doctor?
No.
Depends how you look at it.
Well, he's not a surgeon, is he? He's definitely not a doctor. Not in any traditional sense.
Technically, you could see he is a doctor, but not and not a doctor. You're right. He's not. He's a doctor of science, definitely in a sense.
Well, that's conflating having a doctorate and being. He's not a medical doctor, is he?
Technically, no, he isn't.
Technically, I mean, has he got a degree? Has he been to? There's no mention of him going to, the Royal
Well,
College of Surgeons or anything like that.
the only school we ever hear about is the time he went to is the Time Lord Academy.
Well, there you go. Well, Time Lord Academy is not a part of the British curriculum, so he's not a doctor in the UK. Put it that way. Maybe back on Gallifrey. Not in Britain, sir. He isn't.
Right, Milton. Oh, God, Milton's here. Milton knows the Insane Witch King. How is my favorite nerds? And yes, I know this is not an anime. Oh, he's never gonna let that go.
You know why, Dalek? Because he thinks it's funny.
well, fair enough. All right.
He doesn't realise it's not funny.
And Hakim says, and do the previous doctor has to be killed off in order for a new doctor to rise? And is it like Highlander? There can only be one.
Yes.
Well, basically, yeah. The doctor doesn't regenerate unless he's dying.
I mean, there's other Time Lords, but there's only one, the Doctor.
Yes. So, and Milton goes on to say, "I have good news. I modified a toothbrush and I've made it super easy to clean out my favorite skull-shaped drink bottle. It is the nicest piece of glass where I own again." There's a little smiley face. And then he goes on to say, I can count. I will prove it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 9, 8. Then he says, Doctor Who is not actually a doctor of science or medicine. He's the Doctor of War, which actually includes both. If you want to split hair is a. I guess I was saying split hairs about it. And then it says
it's not exactly splitting hairs, is it? I think being a war doctor is not exactly the same as being a surgeon. That's hardly splitting a hair. That's recognizing a fucking chasm. They're not even the same thing, not even the same ballpark. You can be a doctor of war. Yeah, a battlefield surgeon, but that is being a doctor. The doctor is not a doctor. In fact, you told me about an episode, Dalek, where indeed there was a doctor, and someone was asking, is that the doctor? It's not the doctor, that's the doctor. The Doctor Who is not a doctor, but he is in fact, Doctor Who isn't even Doctor Who, is he? He's the doctor. He's neither Doctor Who nor a doctor. He's the doctor.
Yes, in the TV series Doctor Who, he's just called the Doctor, and I'm guessing you're probably talking about those Dalek movies I told you about.
Yes, where there was a doctor, not the doctor, but a doctor.
Yeah. There is. He's not the he's not the doctor. He's a doctor. He's a doctor.
He's a doctor.
He's played by Peter Cushing, and he's literally called Doctor Who. Yeah, literally.
Exactly. And
he's literally called Doctor Who. He's not the Doctor. He's just a human doctor.
Unlike Doctor Who, who's not a doctor, and indeed is not Doctor Who.
And he didn't steal the TARDIS from the Time Lords. He invented it. In fact, he doesn't call it the TARDIS. He just calls it TARDIS.
TARDIS who?
Milton says, not displayed. He is Captain Cockney, but you are right. I think it's funny, but I think it's funny because of the reactions. Oh, great. And Milton, then he goes on to putting people together, pulling people apart when you really think about it, and Soldiers just the Doctor in reverse.
Exactly, reverse. So the complete opposite of being a doctor. Exactly, reverse. Exactly, healing people and killing people. The reverse. Exactly. So reverse is the reverse of splitting hairs. It's the reverse. It's the very opposite.
What's happened to Scotty?
You never know with Scotty. it's like it's kind of a weird combination. It was probably just a technical error, and he was like, no, well, I'm fine here. Or maybe he passed out. I mean, that's the you just don't know. You just don't know. That's the thing we don't know. Could be anything. Could be literally anything. It's the not knowing, isn't it, Miss Scotty? It's the not knowing, Scotty. We don't know. Let us know, Scotty. You're right, Scotty. Maybe he's fallen and he can't get up.
Yeah, give us a sign you're still out there, Scotty. And Wilson says, I was referring to the episode when Doctor Who was at Gallifrey and he took over Gallifrey. This was before he became the crappy female doctor and he declared himself the Doctor of War. That was cool. Huh.
Alrighty then.
He took over Gallifrey. Well, there's only one story I can think of where that happened. That was I think Tom Baker was in it. Wasn't the Deadly Assassin? That was the other one. What was it called? I'm going to look this up.
Doctor, can't you see I'm burning?
Right. Trouble's here. Hello, Milton.
Hello. I just thought I haven't seen either one of you for a while and thought I'd say hello.
Thank you for coming up.
See, I didn't ask the forbidden question. So, when we designed the meeting. So how are you guys anyway? So, we were talking about the fun Doctor Who stuff, weren't we, or what?
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that. Yeah, we were talking about Doctor Who, and I was just trying to think what was the episode called? I've seen it. What was it called when Tom Baker became the president of the Time Lords?
I know it's the Doctor that played the guitar and with the sunglasses, so I think that is Tom Baker. I'm not sure though. I'm not great with actors' names.
The guitar and the skit. No, that was Peter Capaldi.
Yeah. Oh. Well, something happened on it. Forgive me, I've only watched it once. In the end, he took over Gallifrey in a really cool standoff and declared himself the Doctor of War, and told the president to get off his planet.
Oh wait, yeah, I know it's. That was. I know what you're talking about. That was Hellbent. The last episode with Clara, I think.
Yeah, that was after he got out of that prison and the whole Diamond Wall stuff. Yeah, I'm trying not to give out spoilers.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I completely had the wrong episode in mind.
I liked the metaphor behind the Diamond Wall. I didn't like some of the execution, but overall that was actually a pretty good episode. Like, I'd be splitting hairs because it means that technically this is not the original Doctor. There's been probably millions of doctors because that it's a brand new one getting formed each time.
Well, yeah, technically, yeah, that is quite true. Yeah,
I just could like it's like the whole teleportation thing in Star Trek. Like, it's difficult to get your head around it enough to be like, yeah, that's not hurting my brain. But I'm overly picky about these things sometimes. So, Captain Cockney, how have you been?
Great.
I've been pretty good too.
Yeah, I hope Scotty comes back.
I know Scotty is so nice.
Don't know what happened. Don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, he's not responding on the DMs, so bit of a worry.
I hope he's okay.
Maybe his internet just got cut off or something.
Scotty, I wouldn't go as far as to say that we all miss you. I can't speak for everybody, but I miss you. So, So, Dalek, if that's your real name, what do you think about the Daleks?
I think. What do I think of them? Check the name, check the avatar. And check the theming of this channel. They're my favorite. They're my absolute favorite Doctor Who monster.
Yeah, but why are they your favorite? Do you like the emotional complexity? Do you like their story, or do you just like the fact they're robots? Like, tell us more about them.
I find they're really cool looking. I like see they're really cool. I love seeing them in action on screen. I think their history is fascinating. Both in Doctor Who and in real life, and the history is fascinating.
I like the history of the. I like the history that they've put in the show about the Daleks, and I like the fact that in some of the early episodes they're just people on little tricycles inside little box things.
That's right.
It's like that's super adorable, especially considering they couldn't use the pedals; they had to use their feet or something. Like since their Daleks were like, oh yeah, this is something that's mildly scary to. Oh, this is the most adorable thing I've ever seen. This is really skinny men in spandex suits running around.
Yeah. Well, what are you
I
gonna
wish that
do
was
with?
I wish that was canon in the show, like, because that would just be like funny as. But no, it turned out to be squid monsters.
Yeah, the little it turns out the actual the what you usually see of a Dalek is just just the outside. The real Dalek is just this it's just this squidgy mutated octopus like creature thing that's inside the machine controlling it.
I still reckon it would make a cool plushie, but it's like, how do you make the plushie open up and inside there's a squid monster?
A plushie Dalek. that would be brilliant if they actually did something like that. Although I'm not sure if they haven't, considering the sheer amount of Doctor Who merchandise has been over so many years.
Okay, I'll put it this way: the idea of that is so absurd. I haven't looked it up on eBay because I don't want to imagine people are that absurd. but it would be hilarious. Yeah.
So basic. So like I said, yeah. And I like pretty much everything about the Daleks except for maybe how they are how they're portrayed in some episodes.
Like the human Dalek.
You mean, yeah, that's right. When Dalek Sec became this Dalek human hybrid.
Yeah, when he deep throated a guy became a Dalek human hybrid.
That was such a. That was so. I still don't know fully what to think about that, even to this day.
Well, I'm not the biggest Doctor Who fan. Now, I like Doctor Who, but I'm not like a total fan about it. But even I'm like, that might have been a stretch.
Yeah, because I mean, what you got to remember is that, like, originally, when the Daleks actually were humanoid once, millions of long time ago in the distant past, they were actually humanoid before they. Because I mean, actually, if you want to have the full explanation for that, there's one Doctor Who story I recommend more than any other. Genesis of the Daleks is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, the greatest Doctor Who story of all time.
Is that when the scientist guy that made the Daleks first created them, and there was that civil war on the planet, and they won?
Yes, that was the one. Yeah, that was where we first met Davros, the creator of the Daleks, and we had this. Yeah, we had this. Not I wouldn't say not a civil war, because, but there was a war. There was a war, and it had been going on for a ridiculously long time, and uh, and Davros he manipulates both sides into completely destroying each other. Basically, he gives the enemy, the Thals, he gives them what they need to destroy what the Daleks originally were, their human ancestors, the Khaleds. He gives them what they need to destroy the Khaleds, and that gives him Davros the excuse he needs to unleash his newly built prototype Daleks and wipe out the Thals.
That episode where Davros dies and how he explains why he did what he did and how he went about it. Like, I don't want to spoil that, but that's because, like, people really should watch that, because, like, that brought a freakishly relatable tear to my eye, and I'm not even joking.
Which story was that? Was that the Witch's Familiar?
I don't know what episode that was, but I only seen it in a clip. And it's like, I really wish I actually knew the episode, because I would look it up.
Anyway, like I said,
because it starts off with him going on about the only chair on the home world of the Daleks and Doctor Who being appalled to Doctor Who actually seeing him as a human, as a man that literally just tried his best for, well, the race he made.
I can't believe they actually did that with a character like Davros, because that's just they actually
How they
tried to.
how they did it didn't take away from the character though. It was just it was actually a really good reason why he did it, in my opinion.
It's the no. The reason he did the reason he did it is because he is very straightforward. He wanted to create what he would believe what he believed to be the believed to be the ultimate race who would go on and wipe out all other races and conquer the whole universe, and that in that in his mind were the Daleks.
Yeah, he didn't deny that in that last episode. Like in that part, he didn't deny it. He confirmed it, but it's like the rationale behind it was like, oh my fucking god. Yeah. Yet again, that's only my opinion. Individuals' opinions don't count.
You would.
Wow,
Yeah, there's some. Admittedly, there are probably a few Dalek, but I enjoy most Dalek stories because I love the Daleks, but there are some Dalek stories where I just think no, they've taken it too far.
I reckon we should have more Daleks in today's society.
Well, it's not.
So, Captain Cockney, you're being quiet. What do you think about Daleks?
I like them. I think they're good.
You think they're good? Ugh.
And hey, look who's here! Hail time prophet!
Well, it's the Time Prophet.
My clock prophesizes time prophet. What do you say about that?
Right. In the new stuff, it was a couple of episodes before he regenerated to the female doctor. He took over Gallifrey. Yeah, we discussed that.
Yeah, but I mentioned that before I showed up on the panel. You can't blame me for my past mistakes.
Who else are we going to blame?
And the party can start. The party can start now. I am here. Your clock is right twice a day, lol.
No, it's just most of the time it's predicting the future or the past.
Man, why don't you actually? Hey, Time Prophet, why don't you actually join the panel? Or unless you're too busy to.
I think it's because he's scared of Cockney.
That's a shame. Wait, I can't join at this time of night. Okay.
That's sad. Oh my god, I should not have clicked on this.
Oh, and we have another new arrival. Hail Edge of Time.
Ahoy, Edge of Time.
And Type says, my wife is asleep in the next room. Ah, gotcha. Fair enough. Don't want to disturb your wife.
You start talking about a time traveler and you get all the time nerds on your show.
Yeah.
I like thinking of it as he's going through different universes and erasing the previous one each time. It makes him a genocidal maniac.
Going through different universes and erasing what each one.
The previous one each time, yeah. Like each time he erases the previous universe because he's changing stuff.
You can't erase a timeline. Something grandfather paradox.
So I don't think we're talking about time travel here.
Oh, you mean like blowing up a universe? Cool.
Yeah. Each time he goes to a different universe, it just blows up the previous one.
Wait. Who goes to different? Each time, who goes to a different universe? The Doctor.
Yeah, I like thinking of it like he's sliding between universes, but the amount of energy it would take would probably blow up the previous one.
But he doesn't do that.
Oh, you ruin all the fun of things.
I mean, admit that would be a very wild idea. Yeah.
I admit it's got a couple of holes in it, but the way how he does time travel has holes in it.
Admittedly, that is true.
It's probably on par, if not slightly less flawed. I either should have got more sleep last night or slept better. At least I didn't pass out on the stream again.
Speaking of passing out.
Just remember, sleep is for the weak.
I'm wondering how long I should keep this stream going.
1 minute.
72 hours.
30 seconds.
5 years.
10 seconds. Am I close?
Wait, is Milton Knowles no longer the insane Witch King?
I'm always the insane Witch King. It's just it doesn't fit in the thingy when I go on here. I don't know if they've changed it. I could try changing my name.
You can erase the timeline. Grandfather Paradox is also made up too. It is not a scientific fact.
Don't even rise to the bait. Literally everyone on YouTube, apart from the Time Prophet, understands that you can't erase the timeline because of the grandfather paradox, which has nothing to do with us. That's the thing. We don't even have to explain it. Just go look up the grandfather paradox. You can't erase the timeline. Everyone gets that, apart from the Time Prophet. I'm not going to indulge this nonsense a moment longer.
Actually, I can't believe it. I agree with Captain Coffin here.
There you go. See, Milton would not agree if it wasn't simply logically correct. And what I love about it is there's no debate. It's just why, Captain? Because grandfather paradox. So literally everyone else gets it.
Oh, and demanding proof. Like you'd have to, for actual proof, you'd have to be doing time travel to measure it, and like that's not possible.
It's that's why when I say people get upset when I argue with them, and we always point out the captain only argues with people or points he respects. I might disagree with a point, but it's got to be plausible enough that I've got to point out where it's wrong. This, I can't even be bothered. I mean, it's just a waste of my time. Next. Yeah, it's in the titles of my it's literally in the titles of my show, thanks to Kip Ellis. Lone Pine Mall, Twin Pine Mall. I need say nothing else. Next. Anyway, we're wrapping up the show.
Captain, he's not worth your energy. Like, just don't. Like, you don't need to hit him. Like, you've proven your point.
It's like, the Earth isn't flat. Yeah, I mean, there's a guy on YouTube that thinks the Earth is flat. I don't need to explain. He doesn't believe me. He literally thinks the Earth is flat. Even flat Earthers have to admit there's two sides because it's, if you're in England right now, it's summer and it's nighttime. If you're in New Zealand, as I am, it's winter and it's daytime. So even flat Earthers have to admit there's two sides to a flat Earth. So even they can come to the table. But even flat Earthers are going, well, of course there's two timelines in Back to the Future. Like, I mean, I might be a flat earther, but I'm not stupid.
A flat earther and a round earther are both wrong. The world's a bumpy, oblique spheroid. That explains mountains.
I suppose that's one way of putting it.
Because it's tight, slightly flat at the top and bottom, it makes it a bumpy, oblique spheroid.
Now, remember, folks, Jens reckons there's 8 timelines in Back to the Future. So I'm not having this discussion again until we get the Time Prophet and Jens on the same panel. I've got Time Prophet to the left of me with 1, Jens with 8 timelines. Here I am, Dalek and Milton, stuck in the middle with you with 3 timelines, possibly 4.
Time Prophet to the left of you, nose to the right. Here you are, stuck in the middle with me.
Middle timeline with you. So yeah, in all seriousness, I think in fairness, we need the Time Prophet and Jens on the same panel, and then that's fair because then we got all the opinions.
Oh God, no!
All right. I'm gonna take this stream up to an hour, then see if I feel like stopping.
Why? Because you're stuck in the middle.
Scotty!
Wait, where is? Yeah,
Scotty, come back.
Scotty, where are you?
Where are you, Scotty? We need you.
And get fucking Jens with his 8 timelines. If we get Jens on, you got Time Prophet in the chat. That's as good as it gets. Come on, Jens, where are you?
Oh, yeah. Do we really need Jens? He's a soy boy.
He insists there's 8 timelines.
Oh God, Jens, help! Oh, please don't let him show up.
Don't get me wrong, I love Jens, but Jens is like a lot.
Yeah, I've recently discovered that. And look at this. We've actually got it's not Scotty, but we have got another guest. Hail to Edge of Time. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Time.
Hello, Time Edger.
Wait. Oh God.
He's giving us the silent treatment.
Nice to meet you, Milton Knowles.
Here comes here comes trouble.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, there is a party.
Hey everyone. Hey. Just got to move my sitar strings, a whole box of sitar strings here, so I'll get off the chair. And what's this? Okay, right.
Time Prophet in sight.
We'll go back to Amazon.
Evening delight.
Hello, Time Prophet. Yes, I'm on it.
Mr. Moray, you have great audio.
That's on the cheapest possible microphone.
Yeah, I'm talking to you on a $30 cell phone I got nearly 5 years ago. And you're worse than me.
Was it too loud? It's distorting, is it? Hold on. Is it distorting, is it?
No, you just went close enough to the mic.
It's good now.
Oh, okay, right. So this is it won't cost it now, but I got this for 99 pence off Amazon, I think. Shotgun microphone was 99 pence off Amazon. Won't be that price now. Last time I looked, it was like 50 quid or something. No, brand new. There was some really cheap Chinese shotguns, and then people realised, hold on, these cheap microphones are actually a lot better than you think, and because of that, the price went up.
99 pence? Like, maybe if you use real
like
money.
That. It's not like, yeah, it's not. I've got, actually, this shotgun I'm using now is nowhere near as good as my HTDZ81 my shotgun that I did pay 99 pence for. And then at some point, people said, hold on, this is actually a good microphone. And it's now at £60 you have to pay for it now. I paid 99 pence before people realised that it was actually a good microphone.
And how does that make you feel?
Very smug. But it also means it makes it easy for me to buy my what did I pay for? My most expensive microphone here costs like £1,500 retail, brand new, and I had to pay about £350 for it. And that's another shotgun. Oh, that's the shotgun microphone. You have to plug into a mixing and sounds terrible. That's the one that gets really muffled. The most expensive microphone I've got here, the fancy one. That's the one that doesn't work on YouTube at all. It just sounds really muffled every time.
Muffled. Oh,
Yep.
so muffled, isn't it? Oh, something's muffled. You can't hear it properly. Oh, it's the worst. Can't stand muffling.
Yeah, that's
Captain
the fancy
Cockney, we could still hear you better than we could hear him.
You're true, actually.
Like,
it was an awful noise.
Like, have you tried like just sticking all your socks in your mouth? Like that might give you better audio.
You're telling me the audio's bad? Is that what you're telling me? Because I can't hear myself.
Oh no, it's good now, but before it was like.
Oh, right. When I plug
What's
in
that? Beg your pardon? Who said that? What?
So when I plug in the expensive microphone. Yeah, it's still when I plug in the expensive one.
I hurt my back laughing. How do you do that?
This is Clem Fandango. Can you hear me? This is Clem Fandango.
How the fuck do you hurt your back laughing? Like, I hurt my tailbone laughing.
I hurt my coccyx.
I hurt my coccyx. The coccyx is actually a fusion of
Is it coccyx or coccyx?
Yeah, it's fused. It's a fused tail. Your coccyx is a fused tail. The tail. It's fused.
Yeah. Up until the age of 25, it's multiple different bones.
Oh, I didn't know it took that long to fuse.
That's why it's better to fall on it when you're young rather than when you're old.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get.
At this point in the show, Dalek realised he had fucked up.
I did say as before I let him in that said that there comes trouble.
No, you weren't wrong. No stairway to heaven.
I suppose. Yeah, I have to look it up online, see if there's a stairway to heaven for Bouzouki. Because I've got here a Greek Bouzouki. My classmates, who's also in the band we were in, and he's now doing a lot more music than I am. He uses an Irish sitar, an Irish Bouzouki he's got, which has got a darker sound to it. It's flat back, and I've got the Greek Bouzouki.
Stephen, did you hear they're going to do a series of American-style Greek music baseball cards? They're going to call it Bouzouki Joe. Thanks, I'll be here all night.
Kind of dead air.
Captain Cockney, you're an expert on dad jokes.
How much does a sitar cost?
My sitar. I got my sitar. My sitars can be very expensive. I've got but if you order them from India, you get them cheaper. So if you go into a shop, you're in America or in Britain, walk into a shop and go and buy a sitar, you get rip-off prices. We know it's a business. They want to stay in business. They charge you like £800 or £1,000 or more. If you order directly from India, my one cost the equivalent of $250. I had to pay for my one, and my sitar has got a electric jack plug, so you
Sure.
can. So it's both a sitar and uses an electric sitar. So
Yeah, not
it's,
bad.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's not concert quality sitar, but it's a good sitar, and for the price, fantastic value. And it's not an easy instrument to play. It's one of the more difficult ones.
Actually, I do recommend the subcontinent for all your costume and music
Orders,
needs. In fact, this British Army uniform was that made in Sandhurst? No, it's from Pakistan via eBay.
Oh yeah, that's right. And on both Amazon and eBay, there's I haven't bought it yet, but it's a very nice, fancy embroidered jacket for about £30 from India. Really nice looking embroidered jacket. And that's
No, really, this is why I'm saying, forget Amazon, go direct.
That's right.
Spread the love around.
Yeah. So what's my hand
I went
now?
to buy a sitar once, but I walked out with a stand tire.
That's the
You might be forgiven for thinking this Crimean jacket, is it from the Crimea? No, it's from a good man in Pakistan. All right, Lahore, how dare you? Stream
At least
killer.
it's not a Crimea jacket.
Well, it is a Crimea jacket.
I said Crimea. There'd be two of them.
Crimea River.
Now here's the sitar. Here's the sitar with
While
a string.
my sitar gently weeps.
Yeah, there's the sitar that's a bit out of tune, and I've got to replace one of the strings. The third string is so easy to overtune it breaks, so that's why I've got all these sitar strings here to replace it.
Oh yeah.
But at the moment, I'm quite enjoying practicing without the string missing. But yeah, it's out of tune though. But with
Do you
sitar,
got like every hippie
Hey, Time
instrument?
Prophet, what the fuck's a kitar?
with the sitar, if you even slightly overtune it, the string snaps.
I like the band Shocking Blue. They play some sitar from time to time.
Oh, it's a
Apparently
lovely.
you can get a very tiny version that's very good at looking after kids in the evening. A baby sitar. Thank you.
You actually can get a baby sitar. It's actually very true, actually.
It keeps your kids occupied, doesn't it? A baby sitar.
Sitar,
Baby sitar, do do do. Baby sitar, do do do.
Baby sitar. Mommy sitar, do do do.
Hey, look who's here. Hello, pop culture curator. Good to see you.
Yay!
Wait, you hit the like button. Thank you very much, Pop.
Oh, that reminds me, Milton, are you going to resubscribe to me now? There's a good lad.
What? You told me to go away, so I went away. Sorry.
This is great.
Yeah, what I want you to do is subscribe,
Great
but then
panel.
not show up in the chat. If you could do that, that'd be really sweet.
Why would I do that? That would be
Well, you
dishonest.
subscribe, but then just don't show up to the show too much. And when you do, just lurk. So I like you.
But what if I don't want to?
That's what she said.
Oh, it's outside.
I'm not sure if I'm actually still subscribed or not. I should check.
Come on, big push to 400. Let's go. And while you're
Well,
at
you
it,
told
anyone
me-
out there that is not yet subscribed to Dalek 451, what the fuck are you doing? You're literally listening to Dalek 451. Can you please subscribe to
Yes.
Dalek 451?
I would
subscribe now.
Yes. This channel you're watching right now. Can you? And if you're not subscribed, can you please subscribe? I would much appreciate it. Thank you.
Subscribe or we'll send the heavies after you.
Well, let's think of the carrot rather than the stick. You know, for more fun and jolly laughter and witticisms from Amore, for more Amore and less Milton Knowles, subscribe now.
Whoa, I thought you were being the good cop and I was being the bad cop. That was just mean. . 'Cause 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 '
Was that an uncomfortable silence?
Okay. All right. I think if this keeps if we keep having silences like this,
start talking, everyone! Quick, say something.
I
Edit
like to
time.
talk over other people when I can. It's the
I
only
like to
thing
Talk
I
talk
over
can
over
other
do
other
as a
people when I
people.
man.
can.
we'll
I'll
go this
talk over other people. Talk over other people. Talk over
Talk
other.
over
I'm
others
doing it
when I
right
can.
now.
You know, okay. You know what? We'll take this. I'm going to take this team to an hour and a half, and once we get there,
Yes!
once we get
More
there,
power!
once we get
More
there,
power!
I'll see how I feel like then, and if I feel like keep going, we'll take it to 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh, I think just the rude possibility of a return by Scotford is really what's keeping us going. Where is he? What's happened to him? Is he in the
I
ditch?
have no idea what happens. No, you have no idea
1
what's
minute
happened
he's
to him.
yapping away about Doctor Who. Next minute he's disappeared.
He
What the
just
fuck?
disappeared. What? Like he lost connection or something.
If you make it 3 hours long, I'll subscribe to Captain Cockney.
Oh, then stop at 250. No, you'll subscribe net 11111. No, you'll subscribe now, and we'll say no more about it.
No, I need a bribe.
Oh, look, Dave, if you're
I
going to
don't
hold it
feel-
over me like emotional blackmail,
think-
it's not that important to me. Just forget it.
Sorry, I don't think tonight I can do 3 hours.
Yeah, sorry, Milton. You know, if you're just going to stretch it out and use it as a hold over me, it's really your subscription's not
I
worth
wasn't
that
trying to
much
use
me,
it as a
Milton.
hold over you. I was trying to use it as
Can
a hold
someone
over
out there that isn't Milton please become subscriber 372? I'm on a roll at the moment. Thank you.
You broke that dreaded 370, have you?
10 times now. Ha!
Yeah. Yeah, and I've lost some subscribers. Don't know how.
That's why I need 5 more as a leeway to know I can get past it. Because I've gone past it 10 times. It never takes. It never sticks. You always get some fucker unsubscribing, eh, Milton?
Well, just before I started,
Actually, YouTube won't leave me.
just before I started, I hit 130.
That's true. We got Stephen Merchant. Stephen, I won't pay the ransom. Became 330, 130, 69, whatever it is.
Yeah, it was Stephen was Stephen Ransom. He became subscriber number 130. So
True story.
where is Stephen? I thought he'd be straight over
I thought
here.
he was coming over. Maybe he's with Scotty, trapped in another timeline or universe.
I'm surprised they let you see who's subscribed. That's kind of creepy, don't you think?
Oh no, it's inconsistent. Sometimes it tells you when someone subscribes, and sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it does tell you
Very weird.
who subscribed to you, and sometimes it doesn't. I think it's a personal choice whether someone sees that you've subscribed to them or not.
But yeah, I know Milton isn't, and I know if he will. But if he doesn't, then too bad.
Look, I wouldn't tell you even if I did subscribe to you.
I don't need you to tell me squat. You're an unreliable narrator.
Oh, that's rich.
Good comeback.
Hey, if you want my comeback, scrape it off your mother's teeth.
Hey, Dalek, can you mute this guy? Because he's boring me.
That was a good joke. I stole it from Jimmy.
Come on, that was a nice one.
No, I'm not. No, I don't feel like I don't feel like muting any. I don't feel like muting anybody.
You hear that, Scotty? No, it's a no muting environment. You're not here, Scotty. You're not taking advantage of the lack of muting, Scotty. I can't believe it.
So that's result.
Scotty,
I'll
I assume Scotty in the stream somewhere, isn't he? I'd have thought.
Oh, he's back. He's in that. Apology.
There he is.
Sucked into a catastrophic internet apocalypse. I'm working on it. Stop yelling, please.
Oh, Scotty, we're not yelling. We're missing you. Oh, he always takes a hug as a slap. Scotty, why are you so damaged?
Come online. Scotty, come online.
Come.
Scotty, come back now.
Scotty. Come.
Yeah, with your fags.
Come on to Dalek's show.
Light up and have some fags.
Come on to the panel.
Why don't clams give to charity?
There might be some girls showing up later, Scotty.
Yeah.
because they're shellfish.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
That'd be good. Oh, great if Carol showed up.
Yeah, she might come.
That's
How
what she
is-
said.
How is Carol?
What
Oh,
does
I'm
a
out of
fish
topics
say
of
when he makes a mistake? It was just a fluke.
Oh.
You would be funny if you were like funny, but you're not.
Yeah, I don't quite have the dad thing going that you need for these types of jokes.
You're such a cornball. Get out of here, Harvey.
Cornball.
I just thought of something funny, but I'm not going to say it.
Good.
Will be the judge if it's funny or not.
Yeah,
Do you really want me to say it?
No,
Just
we
do it
don't.
for the
Moving
hell of
on.
it.
So anyway, I was watching a slasher horror. I saw The Northman the other day. That was quite good. Well, it's quite
Yeah,
boring, but it was all right.
Has anyone seen this film called Prey? That was on the Brown's channel earlier. I forgot all about
No, I
it.
hear it's shit.
Yeah, I forgot all about it, and then it was on
Yeah.
Brown's, and I remembered it, and now I've got to try and sit through a few minutes. I can tear it to pieces. So I think it's kind of that kind of form of woke that's utterly
I
offensive
know
and
that's
racist.
what he does on his channel. He always reviews things he doesn't like.
I'm hearing mixed opinions about that, but I'm not gonna watch it myself.
Yeah, but I want to do a history buff style takedown of it because I've heard a little bit, and I thought, hold on a moment. So
History buffs, not based on a true Predator's not based on a true story. You're thinking sexual predator.
I think of Prince Andrew.
Don't play coy with me.
As far as
No sweat.
as far as I'm concerned, the only Predator movie worth seeing is the original one.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I agree with that.
I haven't got time to bleed.
Yeah. Predator 2's got its merits. It's only if there's one you're going to see, it's the Predator. If there's a film, if there's a Predator movie you're going to see more than once or a few times a year, it has to be Predator and none of the others.
I will put it this way: if I was going to watch the new Predator movie, I'd be more likely to watch Eat, Pray, Love.
Oh my god, that's bad enough.
Yeah, it's so bad that I got told that I'm not allowed to watch it before I watched it, and I wish I listened.
I've avoided that movie. I've avoided Eat, Pray, Love. But the thing about this Prey movie is that clearly it's meant to be woke and pro-feminist, but it once again it goes about it by being completely patronizing and completely racist because it's supposed to be the Comanche Nation who are on the Comanche Nation live on the Mexican Texas area, and the film's set in a Canadian forest, and there isn't many forests in the Mexican Texas border. And so they've got, obviously everything about the movie's wrong. They're the Comanche Nation. No, it's completely. If they're the Hurons, they might be more accurate. So if we did one about the Huron Nation, yeah, but it's not. They're supposed to be based on a Native American nation at the other end of the country. It'd be like making a film in Iceland and claim it's the Sahara. Mind, that's what they do anyway. Yeah, but that's what they do
that.
Oh, that's what Lord of the Rings does, doesn't it? Apparently, it's supposed to be Middle Earth in the Middle Ages, and suddenly it's full of African people. Right. That's not what Tolkien wrote.
Actually, Middle Earth gets a pass because it's fantasy world. Fantasy world gets a pass because
it's not. Middle Earth is actually Earth.
No, yeah, because think about there's two things. First of all, the Middle Earth, when Tolkien wrote it, he had also a lot of not paraphernalia, but there's a load of additional notes. So it was actually meant to be set in a Middle Ages Northern Europe. Now, I was looking forward to this new Lord of the Rings. I thought, okay, what they could do is cover. There's like Gandalf and there's other wizards. The other wizards went to the east and went to the south. So there's
the blue wizards. The two blue wizards.
Oh well, if it was blue, one was red. Anyway, that
Yeah,
covers.
Radagast the brown, Saruman the white. But anyway, don't let me.
Yeah, but it covers an Asian continent or certainly Oriental and an African area. So I thought, oh, great, they can expand upon those two areas, which Tolkien hardly mentions. I mean, that'd be really interesting for writers to expand upon that as well as North Europe, Middle Earth. No, they haven't done that. Instead, they've ignored those two other wizards and those two continents completely, and just
the two blue wizards.
Yeah, which they should have done. They should have covered that. They had an opportunity to expand upon that, where Asian and African actors could be employed in their hundreds. It would have been really interesting. You could have all 3-4 areas covered. Instead, it's Middle Earth again, North Europe, but they've shoehorned in clumsily this idea of black dwarves. So not even black humans, black dwarves. How does that happen?
How did we go? How did we go from Predator to Lord of the Rings?
Via Stephen Amore.
Because
it was, I guess, world building, I think.
Geographical
after generations
disparities.
of being in the dark and coal mines, you become part of the coal, and it changes your skin color.
Oh dear. No, geographical disparities and being really patronizing and taking, as in terms of the Comanches, naming this nation as the Comanche Nation, but placing them everything about their geography and practice is completely wrong. I mean, they're trying to make this big thing that the Prey film is so authentic and pro-Native American and respectful of them because they use herbs. Except, of course, the herbs and plants they're using are not the herbs and plants that the Comanche ever used because they're from a different region. You know, the Comanche live in a mostly desertified region, and the plants they're using are from a temperate forest region. So it's everything about it's insulting, but it's done from a woke, so-called progressive perspective, which claims to be liberal and opposing outdated, racist, old-fashioned attitudes. Instead, it reinforces the most outdated, ignorant attitudes, far worse than anything that was written in the 19th century. At least in the 19th century, they actually were more accurate.
Speaking of woke, you've fallen for the trap already. See, regardless whether or not they piss you off to watch the movie, or they make you excited about wanting to watch the movie, they've made money out of you watching the movie. So if they piss you off, they win. If they make you happy, they win, because they're only after the money.
No, because I Pirate Bay it. I don't pay for things like that. I just Pirate Bay it, so I get it for free. I just break the law.
Should you not be mentioning that on YouTube?
Look,
I'm not sure.
I will accept piracy, but not movie piracy. I mean, you can kill, you can pillage.
Before I nitpick a movie to this, I like to purchase the Blu-ray from a shop. I like to buy the Blu-ray. Keep the industry alive, folks. Buy the movie before nitpicking the movie. This has been a public service announcement.
I agree.
Just to interrupt this for a second. Good night, Time Prophet. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Thanks for being in Timeline B.
Yeah, I agree with purchasing stuff, but if there's something that is offensive for some particular reason, they think, why should I help that?
Right, exactly. It's like try before you buy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's why pay for something that might be a disaster up front? And if it's worth rewatching, then you buy it.
I mean, I've got no problem about paying. Yes, you get it for free. Obviously, it's out of copyright. But Plan 9 from Outer Space, no problem buying that because the director's intention was to make a movie, and it's a sci-fi movie, and it's obviously not a great work, but the intention was to produce a product of film art. The problem with Prey and films and some similar projects like that is that the writers, directors, producers have set out to produce something that is inherently insulting, offensive, and effectively racist, because you're ascribing a set of characteristics, practices, and cultures to a people who had no part of that and couldn't. They live 4,000 miles away, and you're promoting it to the public as a piece of propaganda. So some people will believe that this is factual, and not many will turn and say, "Hold on a moment, Comanches in a forest, but they live in Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas, which is not known for its forests, known for its desertified areas. And of course, obviously the reviews. You look at some of the reviews. Obviously, the reviews are praising it. Oh, it's wonderful. It's no, you're missing that they've completely insulted and abused a culture and a people. Most of whom got
I
wiped
love
out.
the historical accuracy.
Well, I don't mind. Obviously, not every film or series is going to have some historical inaccuracies from one reason or another. But this is not historical inaccuracy. This is an anachronism. It's a complete abuse. It's a falsehood. So, for no artistic purpose, and there's no disclaimer explaining that it's a falsehood.
I
Like
agree with you. Haven't the Native Americans been extorted enough?
Yeah. Well, you think, have you ever seen the film Apocalypto? Which is,
Yeah.
well, the Apocalypto uses language, okay, which is American.
Well, you know, Mel Gibson and history are not exactly
I know, exactly.
best friends, are they? Historical verisimilitude, not Mel's strong suit.
It's an indigenous language, which is to its merit, to its merit, to it, that it uses an indigenous language. However, the cultural practices, the architecture are mixing two or more cultures separated by 1,000 years.
It's basically like doing a caveman cartoon and putting dinosaurs in it. It's that level of ignorance. It's like, why even bother? Why you might as well put Joe DeMello.
Why are you quoting the Flintstones?
And but of course, but the real problem is, I could say artistic license, but the problem occurs that the public believe what they're saying is accurate. And it's okay, you can use artistic license, you can do a kind of Flintstones thing, but if you're going to do that, you should at least have some kind of disclaimer in the credits saying, by the way, we mix up styles or whatever, which they don't do.
Well, why didn't they just use one of the many tribes that would have been in a forested area?
Yeah, or instead, as well as get the architecture accurate instead of using two different cultures separated by 1,000 years who could never meet.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Lord of the Rings. Well,
no, I was talking about Apocalypto as well. Yeah, Apocalypto does it. Apocalypto does that.
Well, it's the same as Mel Gibson when he made Braveheart. All the characters are wearing blue woad 1,000 years after they stopped, and they're wearing tartan 200 years before it had been invented. It's like, it's all Scottish shit, isn't it? It's all Scottish history shit. That's what it is to the mind of Mel Gibson. That's what I'm talking about. They just mush two disparate things together. They don't give a fuck. That's why 500 years, these knuckleheads been making movies about us. They're going to be going, oh, Florida, London, same fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, there are films that actually more or less do that. You know, they take as a shot of Venice, St. Mark's Square, and call it London. There'll be a few films that maybe from the 50s and 60s and 70s. There will be a few films out there that do that kind of bizarre architecture and accuracy. Here's a shot of St. Mark's Square, and they call it London or something crazy. There's not many films, but there'll be a few like that.
Tell me you're joking.
If I ever go to London, I want to see the Leaning Tower and the Eiffel Tower.
Oh my God.
There are a few films like they tend to be something like Mexico. They're not like standard American or British releases. I mean, I wish I remember the title of it. There is I believe it's a Mexican dinosaur movie, right? Made in the 70s because it's in color. And the Tyrannosaurus Rex they use in the movie is a stop motion, one of those solid plastic vinyl dinosaurs you buy in a toy shop. So nothing of the body moves. It's just stop motion of this solid plastic dinosaur from a toy shop moving across the screen with roars added. And again, it's one of those things that's so bad it's good.
I want to watch that.
I want to watch it again. I'd like to know what the title of it is. I saw it. It was on British TV quite a few years back, and I was staring. I think I am seeing what I am seeing. This film was only made. It would have been released, and it would have had some audience. And if it's a poorer country or doesn't get many films, it probably had a big audience. So if it was say it was made in I'm sure it was made in Central South America. So there would have probably been a national interest in seeing the movie. So it would have got a bigger audience in that area. I wish I knew what it was called, but it's incredible to watch this small plastic dinosaur that you'd buy in a toy shop stop motioning across the screen with no limbs moving, no mouth moving, nothing moving other than the stop motion.
I've got a historical question. When did horses get to America? Were they imported or were they here already because of the land bridge?
The Spanish imported them. Horses died out about 40 million years ago in America.
Oh,
There was a species. There was a small species of horse in America, and I believe it died at 40 million years ago. And the horses you have now in America were imported by the Spanish, and the Pueblo Indians down in the southern states got their hands on a few of them, and they were then bred into what became the Plains Pony. And of course, the Plains Pony gave the Native Americans an advantage over the French, the British, and the Americans because it's very maneuverable and fast. And of course, that advantage was then lost because of the Remington rifle, the Colt
right.
revolver, and the Gatling gun.
That's interesting. I was wondered if they were just so the Native Americans were early adopters of horse riding.
Yep, they were. They said the Spanish conquistadors brought them to America, and then some horses escaped or were stolen because although the conquistadors were very
I think the
successful.
first one was called Champion.
Yes, right. Actually, I think some Champion Wonder Horse on my channel. But I want to upload some more.
Really? Oh, I'm going to be. Oh, that's like the original Member Bear. I think that's the first TV show I ever watched. Champion, the Wonder Horse. Oh, I'm going to be in a bowl of tears later.
The theme tunes on my channel, and I think I found some episodes to upload, so go upload them. But the when they
top tip, the baddies when they get their bandanas and put them over their faces, and it's not even COVID season. It's like, oh, you're going to rob a bank. I know what you're up to.
That's right.
Like an arrow firing from a bow. Champion, the Wonder Horse. Hey, Mr. Ed.
Okay, we've officially passed an hour and a half. So the conversation's been going pretty strong. So 2 hours.
That's what she said.
Well, the question, of course, then is who here knows about Champion the Wonder Horse? Obviously, Captain and I are ancient and near death. What about the rest of you?
Thank you.
No, that's new on me.
The ancient I was expecting, but it's the near death. That's the icing on the cake there, Stephen. Thanks. Yeah. That's my secret, Stephen. I'm always near death.
I always make sure the marzipan's underneath.
I haven't lived long enough to know about your old mean stuff.
Oh, but it's some really good stuff. That's what it is. Yeah, Champion the Wonder Horse. You got to see that. Made by Flying A Productions, of course.
I know about quite a lot of old stuff because I really like older stuff. But
you've never even watched Battle of the Planets.
You keep
I will keep bringing it up until you report back that you've seen it, you manga avoider. I mean, anime.
You've got to see Battle of the Planets, yeah.
Good job Milton's not here. He'll start explaining the difference between a manga and an anime.
Speaking of anime, I've got a new. My good mate Potato Revan sent me this really cool image that I could use as a new avatar and oh god, I need to.
What's her name?
I have a quick question about anime. Is this an anime?
Oh god!
Fucking hell! This fucking guy over here, this fucking comedian. Hey, it's an anime a manga every fucking Tuesday. He's over here on the hey, Dalek, an anime. Is it a manga? Hardy hard, motherfucking hard.
Oh my god!
Hey, Dalek, is an anime a manga? No, is it though? Is it funny now? Is it funny now?
Oh, why does this happen to me? Even on my own channel, this happens to me.
Sorry, it's just your accent and how disappointed you sound in me.
Milton thinks he's back at school or home.
It kind of is like being backstory. It's like upsetting my etiquette teacher. Like everybody hated her, upsetted her.
Hey, Dalek, I'm reading an anime and watching a manga, or am I?
God, this is gonna be my life now.
I would apologize, but I
Scotty!
don't regret it.
Scotty, lock that down back there. You think R2? No, Scotty, shut them all down.
Hey, I'm lucky that I'm not doing the beam me up Scotty jokes, but he'd turn that sexual.
Beam yourself up, Scotty. Beam yourself up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life down there in the chat.
Oh my!
I'm not supposed to enjoy myself too much. I pass out, man.
All right, that's all, guys. Stop having a good time, for fuck's sake.
Oh, to add in what you were saying, Amore, Pop Culture Curator says that's correct. I heard that the Spanish brought horses to America. The Native Americans, when first seeing a man on horseback, thought it was one creature.
That's right, they did. Yeah. Then seen them. So horses died out in America about 40 million years ago. But the Book of Mormon, which, like another well-known religious text, claims to be absolutely true and verbatim, says, yes, there were horses in America and people riding around horses. Yeah, because Joseph Smith didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Joseph
Smith, horses.
Dum. I love that episode of South Park.
Oh, yeah, it's great, that.
What, Cartman joins Nambler?
No, because like that guy's wife questions the book, and they were going dumb the whole time, and then when she questions it, they go smart. It's like,
okay, I'll sort it out after this. I'll sort it out after the stream's over.
Oh, there we go.
look, everybody should make fun of Mormons in their magic underwear.
I do. Purple, are they not?
No, like the women wear a funny white top and the men wear funny white boxes.
I thought they had purple ones for special. Maybe that's a different religion.
Actually, I'm not going to question that. I've only recently found out about it because one of my friends is making fun of them.
Mm. Sacred underwear.
Every underwear is sacred.
Every underwear is good. Every underwear gets naked in your neighborhood. Yeah, I can't do South Park for the most part. It's like a little too edgy for me. Believe it or not.
Oh wow.
There's a limit.
Oh.
I think Uncle Fucker is about as far as I can get.
What about Eric Cartman? How about what about
You're an Uncle Fucker. I must say, I fucked your uncle yesterday. Yeah.
what about when Eric Cartman found out his mum was his dad?
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker.
Anyone seen Cannibal?
The whole wide world, stupid bitch.
Oh, I love. Okay, now I love that. I love that. Bitch. I love that. That's one of the few things. One of the few things from South Park I actually do like.
Suck on my big old chocolate balls, salted chocolate balls. Put them in your mouth and suck them. Yeah, see, too edgy for me.
I'm sorry. How would you like to suck my balls, Mr. Garrison?
That is a pretty on point Cartman.
Yeah. Although Chef quit the series once they made fun of Scientology, then he quit the series. He did.
True story.
What?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Scientologist.
Yeah. You can't make fun of my religion.
Yep. He was happy to make fun of everything else, but the moment they made fun of Scientology, and he also made fun. He also was in episodes where they made fun of lynching. So he was happy to make fun of lynching, but when they made fun of Scientology, that was it. He immediately quit.
The man has limits.
Well,
So they made him into a horrible monster.
He was going clear with Scientology.
Yeah, so they made out that he was abducted by an organization that brainwashed him to become a horrible monster. And it's like, well, they're not lying. That did happen to Chef.
But it definitely has its moments. I just wait for people to recommend them, like the Member Berries episode.
I'm Mimby.
Sure, I'm Mimby.
I'm Mimby. Oh, that's a gag in my group on Skype called the Illuminati. Yep, I literally have a group on Skype called the Illuminati, full of people that prank magic. We have like a pyramid with the eye in it and everything, but it's just a picture of Phil Cipher from that cartoon.
Oh, Bill. Oh, yeah, Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. Oh man, I've been on the. Oh man, I was been on the fence for years about actually watching Gravity Falls. Yeah, there was some Jim. Say what you will. Look, I'm. This might you might disagree on this, but say what you will about Disney. But I think in the last I don't know five or so years, they have done some things which are good. Not much, I admit, but a few things.
Not much.
Yeah, like Disney hasn't died; it's just died back.
It's just no longer going for the universal audience.
It's like if Disney was a plant, if Disney was a plant, like take some cuttings off it, dig it up, refertilize the earth, and put the good cuttings in, and hopefully it will grow up.
No, Disney actually say, don't they? Piss off, we don't want you as fans. We don't like what we do.
Exactly.
Often and at length.
Yeah.
But so you're making your case. What was good from Disney?
Nothing.
Some of their, some of their more recent animated stuff was good. For example, because I've always well, okay, you were all probably too old to want to bother with stuff like that, but me, I love cartoons, and
I like Fritz the cat.
And I think one of the best shows that Disney did in recent years was the Ducktales reboot.
Oh, that's awesome! I love watching that.
Yeah, I love that. I watched the first episode, and then the moment Scrooge McDuck came on and said, "I had David Tennant voice," and goes, "Oh my god, he is awesome!" God.
So it was a reboot of the one that's like DuckTales. That one.
It was a redo of the original DuckTales, and for the late 80s, which I love that too. That old cartoon.
Yeah. But that's classic. That's classic Disney. That'd be like them putting out a Mickey Mouse show and it being okay. You'd be like, well, it should be. It should be good. It should be, entertaining.
Yeah. The show.
Disney after finding out some things about it.
I like the old Carl Barks comic books with the DuckTales crew in them. Huey,
Yeah,
Dewey,
but
and
like I said,
Louie.
but like I said, the new DuckTales cartoon they did that was really was brilliant.
And what happened? It was just a mini series, or it had
No, it ran. No, it was a proper series. It ran for 3 seasons.
Oh.
That's a mini series.
What do you mean? How is it a mini series?
When it's only a few seasons, it's called a mini series.
I don't know about that.
Well, unfortunately, they cancelled it.
That might not become underneath the qualification they make. It's got to deliberately be short to be a mini series.
Have you ever watched the
Disney cancels?
the live action movie Perry the Squirrel?
Perry the Squirrel. What?
Yes, from Disney. It's really old. They used to show it every year in school, and I found it incredibly demented once I watched it as an adult.
No, I don't think I've seen that. I mean, I'm more familiar with Disney's animated movies than most of their live action ones.
Okay, quick question. Anybody here a fan of Phineas and Ferb?
I am. I love Phineas. I really enjoyed Phineas and Ferb.
I'm not. I don't know anything about
that. you guys are old.
I don't like cartoon characters. I find them unbelievable. Hey, what's the difference between anime and manga? Does anyone know?
I've been watching. Look! I've been watching cartoons and animation all my life. I love animation, and I watched a lot. And a lot of the stuff I watched as a kid was old Disney movies. Like I watched, we used to have this Disney video collection. We had The Lion King, we had The Jungle Book, we had 101 Dalmatians, The Aristocats, and
Cats.
I've never seen The Lion King. Can you believe it?
You've never seen The Lion King? My God, man!
I've never seen the Green Hulk thing either. What's the green guy?
That's one of my favorite movies ever. The Lion King.
No, not the Hulk. It's dumber. It takes place in the medieval times with a donkey.
The old guy.
Look who Captain. Look who finally showed up. Stephen Ransom.
Hey.
I've been waiting for you.
Where you been?
Waiting for you, Stephen.
Someone's been time traveling.
Regardless whether or not it's an anime or a cartoon, I love watching
anime or a cartoon. Anime is a cartoon, you knucklehead. Don't you know the difference between anime and manga?
Evidently, animes are not cartoons, but it's really strange live action.
Here we fucking go. Darling, can you tell this guy anime is a Japanese form of cartoon? Where if it's comic book, that's a manga. What the fuck?
You pretty much nailed it, Felix.
It's not rocket science, folks. It's pretty easy. They just put there's comics and there's cartoons. There's anime and there's manga. There's only 2 things. What are you doing?
I suppose technically, pretty much any kind of any animation you see from Japan is classed as anime, but or just classed as Japanese animation.
Yeah, anime. And if it's made by guys, then it's a fucking cartoon. Capiche? You capiche? You okay there over there?
Okay, look, simply put. Think of this. If it's a Western show, it's a cartoon. If it's Eastern show, it's anime.
Hey, hang on a minute. But New Zealand is east of China. What's that? Is that east or west? New Zealand, east or west? Kind of both. You know what I mean?
Damn it.
Actually, what if it comes from the Middle East? Is that an anime or a cartoon?
What the fuck is up with this guy? Is he? Hey, darling, is he with you? Who the fuck is this guy?
And look, saying they strictly come out.
New Zealand. I don't know. Hey, Milton.
What about
New Zealand? New
What
Zealand
about
ain't no
Chinese
place
and
I ever
Korean
heard of.
animes?
They speak English in New Zealand.
Korean animes are pretty good.
What does Dalek 451 look like?
A Dalek.
Does he look like a bitch?
Yes, yes, yes.
Why are you trying to treat him like one, Milton?
Yes,
Yes, you did.
yes,
Yes, you did.
Yes, he did.
There's only one person that likes getting fucked, like Dalek 451. There's Mrs. Dalek 451. And you ain't it, Milton.
I've never seen Shrek.
How do you know?
What does Shrek
Get
look
over
like?
yourself. Nobody's seen Shrek.
He's
Yeah,
big. Go on. He's
What do you
I
mean,
don't
green.
think I'm missing
What
much.
what do you mean no one's seen Shrek?
I've never seen it. Milton Knowles has never seen Shrek.
I have. I saw it years ago.
I've watched all the Shrek movies. Like I've just
I
never
only
seen
watched
them
the
in
first one.
person.
The rest was shit.
And
I can't deny
yeah,
that.
of course you can, Stephen. Of course you. But hang on. The
We
only
need to get
difference
both
between
the Steve, then Black Phillip needs to see. Look, Black Phillip, they are two Stevens, are different people.
the only difference between animation and live action is that live action has a good look at the celebrity's face, leaving us to identify them as the character. That makes animation better. Yes. I agree with that.
Oh la la, someone's going to get laid in college.
Right, so, and yes, like I said, Stephen, you can join the stream. The link's at the top of the chat. It's been just click on it.
Because we got a guy over here that doesn't quite understand the difference between anime and manga. Ain't that right, Milton?
This is gonna go on for the whole rest of the stream, isn't it?
I hope fucking not.
I can't understand the difference between anime and manga and hentai. There isn't.
Yeah, well, you go
difference.
to the movies
It's
for
just
you,
one of
Milton.
these gross.
For God's sake, manga is Japanese comic books, not animation.
Milton, do you know the difference between a hentai and bukkake?
I don't want to. Why? That's horrible.
That's the problem, Milton.
Let's not go into that.
That's
Let's not go into hentai,
I ain't going to the
please.
bathhouse
Oh my
with you.
God.
I'll put it this way: when I found out about that, I literally walked out of Elizabeth's house. I was like, "What the fuck?" I couldn't stay in the same house as somebody
And welcome to the stream for the very first time, Stephen Ransom. Hello, how you doing?
Stephen Merchant.
How you doing, gentlemen? How do I sound, by the way?
You sound fine.
Very good.
Mora, you sound peachy fucking key.
Yeah, you sound fine. Hi, Steve Ransom. You sound fine.
Thank you very much. How are you, gentlemen? How are you?
I'm
alive.
I think we're all good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm evil.
Thank you for the. You're doing pretty good, aren't you, Felix?
Yeah, I'm pretty cool cat. You know that Benji from Top Cat? He ain't your amigo. He's a piece of shit who sold out his amigos.
What little Benny from Top Cat? No way.
Yeah, we got a rat in the house. We're not sure about Benny. We're gonna have to see.
Why does the mermaid wear seashells?
All I know is every time I'm out getting some
seashells.
fish, I see Officer Dibble, and I'm like, oh, what a coincidence. Oh, look, it's Officer fucking Dibble once again. Hey, Benny, what are the odds? We got a rat in the house. That's all I'm saying.
I want to get a giant spider plushie.
Nah, Benny wasn't like that. He was a
Benny's
nice
a good guy. Maybe
he was a nice little fella.
Maybe it's Milton. Are you the rat in the house, Milton?
What?
Who here has seen Top Cat?
Have you seen Top Cat, Milton? What do you think of Benny? Can you vouch for Benny? Is he?
No.
Who do you trust more, Benny or Long Beach Mike?
I don't know what Top Cat is. I'm watching a spider getting played with.
You never heard of Top Cat?
Top Cat is Sergeant Bilko made into a cartoon form. It's fantastic.
it's this great
No,
little.
Sergeant Bilko is a human version of Top Cat.
Aha.
Wait, oh my god, is that what I think it is?
Is it a polished skull?
It's a person
Is that a-
playing with a tarantula.
Was that a real tarantula?
Yeah, they like you can get them as pets in America, and they're freaking adorable. I wish we were allowed them here, but they would eat birds. We're not allowed them. We're not allowed bird-eating spiders as pets.
Oh, I thought we were. Oh, I didn't know. I thought we were allowed bird-eating spiders pets.
They live for like 2 years, and they're super cute.
Oh.
Cute! Are you insane?
We
They're
have it.
gross, man. They're gross. Like you look at their cage, it's just this nasty
with
spider web
spiders?
hole. It's just
Yeah,
a
you can.
spider hole.
Depends.
Spidery spiderness.
It depends on the species of tarantula. Some are burrowing tarantulas, and some go up in the trees, and some just sit on the ground.
I just
Best
feel
one-
sorry for them as pets.
Well, they don't move around
Why
much. They're
they
quite.
don't
It don't require
yeah,
much. Just
like
sit
they
there and wait
actually
to eat.
hate to move around.
Oh, really?
Like,
You know,
If you
Anyway,
make them move
well-
around too much, they die.
unless it's one called an orange bitey thing is known as, which is ferocious. It is the most bad-tempered spider. It doesn't have fear. It's just aggressive. It's bright orange.
My pet white tip growing up was pretty good, but it kept biting me, and I kept getting infections. So my
What
dad
was it?
squished it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yikes.
The Mexican ones are the most docile. It's the Mexican red knee and the Mexican red leg. They're the most docile species of tarantula. And so the most aggressive is the orange one called the orange bitey thing.
Do you know they have pink toad?
Yeah, I know. I was looking at because I keep reptiles. Yeah, I'm keeping Madagascan day geckos. One of the websites getting the food from stocks some various species of tarantula. So I got a quick update recently because years and years ago I read a couple of tarantula books. But I got a quick update on the species that are kept in this country. I didn't know. I thought you could keep the big bird-eating ones in this country. So you can't. I didn't know that. I saw that you could get an orange bitey thing for £8, but I say they're a nightmare. Well, don't go in near them.
Is that their official name? Orange bitey thing.
There is an official name, but I can't remember what it is. All I know is a South African website dedicated to tarantulas said of the orange bitey thing, they've seen one having an all-out fight with its own water bowl. That's how aggressive it is.
Holy crap.
Oh my
Well,
goodness! I would love that.
Well, look on YouTube. If you point orange bitey thing to YouTube, you can see a couple of them getting really aggressive. Anything sets them off. Apparently, it's not a fear response. It's not a nerve response. They are just incredibly angry and aggressive.
Hey,
It
they
was-
could be
it was
fighting
him
for
or the
blood,
bull.
Perfectly
they're not a
natural fit
spider.
for YouTube.
The bull was looking at him funny.
Yeah.
That's actually
Orange
good point,
bitey
Cal.
thing.
Good point, Felix. That is they would fit very well on YouTube.
Standard YouTuber.
Orange
Yeah.
Yep, just
bitey.
aggressive by default. Should have its own series on Saturday. Call it Matt Foulball.
Yes.
You know, there are some species of tarantula which are bitey because they are a nervous species, but not the orange biting. And also, on top of that, orange bitey thing is also the most poisonous species of tarantula you can keep.
Oh,
So if it-
God.
when it
Oh,
bites
looks like
Yeah.
pop culture. Looks like pop culture curator was on his way out. Good night, pop culture. Thank you for showing up.
But by the way, in Britain, if you want, you can order from Germany. Germany sells them. The Deathstalker scorpions, one of the most poisonous scorpions in the world. You're allowed to keep them. You have to get a license for them under Dangerous Animals Act. We are allowed to keep them. But if one escapes, the environmental agency will literally tear the place apart to find it. Because apparently, I think it was England, someone had a Deathstalker scorpion from Germany, did escape, and the environmental agency literally tore the house apart till they found it. It's so dangerous.
And it was in the garden the whole time.
Hang on. So you're telling me if I hate somebody over there, I steal their Deathstalker scorpion, lock it up at my house, and then say that they lost their scorpion in their house and just wait until the house is fully destroyed and then just let it go.
Almost that, but you have to prove that that you'd bought it. So if someone comes, someone's to the police, there have to be some kind of proof that you owned this scorpion, because by sounds of it, they're not allowed to be bred in this country. Germany stocks them, and you can import them, but you've got to have a dangerous animal license. So it's like having a venomous snake. You've got to have a dangerous animals license, but you can import them from Germany legally.
You're not allowed snake. You're not allowed snakes in my country because they eat birds.
Oh, I see. Right. Well, but in Britain you can. There's certain.
We're not allowed. We're not allowed to impose bird-eating predators. There's exceptions for some types of mammals, like cats and dogs.
Yeah. Well, I know there's some poisonous species of snake. You certainly were able to get them. I think you can still get them, but you certainly could get them. And I'm sure you can still get some species that are still allowed, but there you say you have to have a license under Dangerous Animals Act of 1976.
So you said you're keeping geckos?
So orange and fuzzy.
Sorry?
These spiders are so orange and fuzzy. I love them.
Yeah. And they're completely legal. They're not covered by the Dangerous Animals Act. You can get them. And they're cheap. Because people are thinking, how do we sell something that's incredibly, very fuzzy and lovely, but incredibly aggressive? Which is good, because they're not going to sit there. Most people just sit there and only move for water or to kill a locust. This thing will happily jump around at the slightest provocation or shadow, or because it feels like going nuts.
No, you said you're keeping.
I would prefer one like. I would prefer one like I showed, which you can actually play with, because
you can't play with this one.
I don't want one that I'm going to get bit by.
Yeah, you can't play with these, and apparently although it's not as toxic, obviously not as toxic as Black Widow venom, it has similar symptoms to Black Widow venom, but obviously a lot less effective. Although you can be, it's one of those tarantulas, one of those few tarantulas. If it bites you, you can be hospitalized. Doesn't mean you will be, but it's possible to get hospitalized because of the stomach cramps it causes.
So what did you say you were keeping geckos?
Yeah,
at the moment keeping Madagascan day geckos at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Welcome to Comparative Venoms on 2 hours on Dalek 451.
Yes, thank you for pointing that out, Felix. We have hit 2 hours. So the question now is, shall I keep going?
Yes, until Scotty arrives. Where are you, Scotty?
You know what? Okay, I'm actually.
Fuck it.
This stream's going so well. I'm actually thinking, how about I take it? Well, we wait for Scotty, and we take this up to 3 hours.
Because Milton's here, and yet we've managed to have a nice time.
Good grief.
Which is nice.
I find it hysterical that you can get a license for a dangerous creature, and self-inflict the country with the danger of a dangerous creature just by owning a license. But there's all kinds of gun control and restrictions on refugees, and I find that funny. I find that hysterical, actually.
I mean, exactly. I mean, if you were of such of a mind, you could order in a Deathstalker scorpion, put it in a box, go in a car, and release it somewhere quite a few miles away, and let it carry its merry way, and all the damage it will cause.
Yeah, they would have to track down how you released it and where. It's like it's bizarre. It's bizarre how that's even a regulation.
Stephen, are you having a bit of a connection problem? Is there something up your mic or something? Because you sound quite bad.
Is it breaking
You sound
up?
like a Dalek.
That's ironic.
Ironically. Sounds more like a Dalek.
Talking.
Like you're
The
understandable.
wrong guy is a Dalek.
I'm talking over an iPad.
It's going to start saying meow.
Oh, you're doing this on a tablet, are you?
Yes.
I was going to leave it
giving
because
me a
it sounded
headache.
like a robot.
Sounds better now, though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's distance from the mic.
Yeah.
Ah, that could
Oh,
be.
who was mentioning about the geckos? Because like geckos are really cool.
Yeah,
Because I think if memory serves me right, they're the type of lizard that don't have eyelids, so they have to lick their own eyeballs and they stick to things.
That's what the the Madagascan day geckos don't have eyelids. They've got what's called a monocle, so it's a transparent cover on their eyes. Yeah,
How many you got?
a male and a female, so two. Got two of them in a
Oh my
cage.
god, that's
Yeah.
so cute.
They are Madagascan day geckos are really lovely, and they're easy to keep as well.
You're gonna have more soon, hopefully.
We've had a couple of eggs laid, but they're not fertile by looks, unfortunately.
Could you
Hmm.
scramble
Hopefully you
them?
get more of them because that would be super cute and adorable. That's what you should be putting on your channel, man.
Yeah, I've actually got some photos
Actually,
on one
what
of
would
my.
they taste like?
Oh, idea. But I do have some photos of them on one of my iPhones. Go upload because they are incredibly cute. Actually, in
Yeah.
England now, because of climate change, we've now got a beautiful lizard called a green lizard now living in southern England, and they were bigger. They were popular as pets in the 1970s and 80s, and you can't find many more in reptile shops. But they are now in southern England because of the climate change. They've moved from France and the Channel Islands into England now, and they are gorgeous.
How'd they get across the channel?
I think it's like people had them as pets and they escaped, and the weather's changed enough for them to breed now.
But did they have little like lizard boats? How'd they get in across the water? The English Channel, the French lizards. That's why. But how? I need a how. How are they
We-
getting across? Do they swim or what?
No, they're part of a gang that come across with the illegal migrants. They're exploiting illegal migrants. What they do is they kidnap the
They
children.
climb on the migrant?
No,
What
no,
now?
no, 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 they don't. What they do is they kidnap the children of migrants to migrant camps, hold the children hostages until the migrants agree to get a dinghy and then cross the channel. And what the lizards do is hide in the bottom of the dinghy. And when the migrants get stopped by the customs, the lizards come ashore into England, and thus they are the true illegal immigrants. It's not the humans. It's not the Iraqis with bombs strapped to them or anything. It's the lizards.
Well, all I have to say
Alrighty
about
then.
the lizards is I can understand why they're getting away from France. I mean, have you smelled it, Lynchman?
Oh, it's vile, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I went to France with the school. We had spent 4 days with the school. The teachers, there at dinner time, the teachers had like a banquet. It was gorgeous. We had some worst things I've ever tasted in my life served to us. And on the first night, we were almost all violently ill. I mean, really ill. You know, people were throwing up and terrible stuff.
Oh, no. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, worse than that.
Oh, that's nice, Captain. Thank you.
It's all right. I'm coughing up a hairball. No, it's
I
fine,
took-
guys. I'm coughing up a
Oh,
hairball. It's fine.
Whatever,
Relax.
whatever you say, Felix.
Yeah. That first night, I
Who you
woke
like
up-
more, me or Top Cat? Me, right? Come on.
Yeah, Felix. Felix is over 100 years old now, isn't he? It's about 1918.
Yeah, I still get around. Don't you worry.
1917, wasn't it, Felix?
You're only as young as a kitten, you feel. You know what I mean?
That's what Prince Andrew says.
Yeah, the cats were some of the earliest, were the easiest to animate.
I was
Buckingham
gonna
Palace
say,
online 2,
unlike
Dalek
you,
451. Buckingham Palace online 2.
unlike you, my school dinners were awesome, and our school lunches we got to pick from the school cafeteria. We got a free menu, and then there was one that you had to pay for.
Oh, right. Didn't have that.
Breakfast sucks though. Like the best thing you could have for breakfast was fucking wheat bix and toast. Like the rest of it was like, oh god.
Wow. Now, my convent, my convent made amazing shepherd's pie. The shepherd's pie was truly amazing that the nuns made. And they made custard that was so yellow, it glowed. It's incredible. But they made us eat red cabbage, vinegared red cabbage, which is not good, which 5-year-olds don't like to eat, but they forced it down. I mean, literally, you had to sit there and eat it. They forced it down as this vinegared red cabbage.
Good lord, like the only good part of red cabbage is the cabbage heart because you cut all the leaves off, you eat the cabbage heart raw, and it's delicious. The rest of it's just waste. Like not even fit for rabbits.
Yeah, locusts won't eat it. I mean, because I've got the lizards, I get locusts, and the locusts love to eat lettuce. Lettuce are nuts about. Cabbage leaves they hate. They won't eat cabbage leaves. These are locusts. Things that go into
Oh my
Africa.
god!
Famines. They cause famines in Africa, but they won't eat cabbage leaves.
I got a quick question. How long do locusts live for? Because that would be an adorable pet.
Quite a bit of time by the looks of it. I don't know exactly. But as long as you
I
feed
would
them.
love a swarm of locusts and a swarm of frogs, and I'd love to release them at an Egyptian's house. Bibli! Oh, man, I'm maniacal.
We'll find an Egyptian restaurant. There's your answer. Just go to an Egyptian restaurant. Yeah, they get big locusts. Just all you have to do with locusts is keep them warm, feed them lettuce, and they get massive. Massive and flying they get. So that's what we have to do with locusts. And get big. They're like 6 inches long, full-grown locusts. They fly. So yeah, all you have to do, lettuce, get big locusts, then go to your local, find an Egyptian restaurant, and you probably get done for hate crime.
I went to the Wild Food Festival, and I think I brought a female cricket because I brought one, and then I was told I wasn't allowed to keep it as a pet, and I could either feed it to the rat or let it outside. So I let it go outside, and we still have these bright green crickets that are not native to the area, and they come to mostly at my parents' house, but they're going to other people's houses now.
You're causing an environmental hazard. Well, thing is, that did happen with hamsters in London, going back I think about 15 years ago. Those things you keep in a cage, the golden Syrian hamster, some escaped, and they became a plague in a London estate. They took over. There was hamsters everywhere. They weren't doing any harm. Just there were these hamsters running around windowsills, but they went in and exterminated them. The council did. There was on the BBC this film of these cute little hamsters walking around on the grass, on windowsills, and everyone's going screaming mad because they're not meant to be here. So, lovely. No, they got exterminated.
What?
Yep, they exterminated thousands of hamsters.
Hamsters? Oh my god.
Hamtaro was very displeased.
Oh. Oh, that is horrible.
What's the lifespan of a hamster? Like a year and a half?
Yeah, about 18 months to 2 years.
Getting worse every minute by the sounds of things.
Oh.
Yep, that was the London Council did that.
That is, thank you for that.
And that was back when...
Thank you for that, Amore. That is really depressing hearing.
Well, that was back when Ken Livingstone was in charge of the GLA, the new one, when they brought it back. So he was the mayor of London. So when Ken Livingstone was mayor of London, he was supposed to be like animals, although he tried to get rid of all the pigeons in Trafalgar Square, and it was under him that this council wiped out all these lovely little hamsters running around.
Seriously,
did they succeed with the pigeons? They didn't, did they?
That is awful.
There's a lot fewer pigeons now
I
in
used
the
to love I loved hamsters because when I was in school, one of the classes at the school I always had a pet hamster that the whole class took care of.
Yeah, well, Ken Livingstone just shows up.
My school had wild ducks walking around, and we used to throw food at them and get in lots of trouble for it.
I actually took that. I remember one time I actually took the hamster that we had in that class. I took it home once. Took it home for the night.
Yeah, they're really sweet.
You have a type.
we've got geese here, and the geese gang up in packs of geese, and they hang around on the lawns, and basically they tell you to piss off.
You had a gaggle of geese?
Well, they still are, because we've got a river near us. So you've got a river, and you've got the green next to the river. And what you have is the geese hiss at you when they're on the river anyway. But often you go towards the library, and there will be dozens of geese on the green, and they're basically telling you to piss off. Don't come near us. Get away. And then and what they also do is they shit all over the path. So there's all this goose shit on the path. You've got the geese on the green ready to attack you. It's like, well, you're not meant to be here. This is a library. It's meant to be humans. Like the geeks say, no, this is our land.
Do you have a golf club and a decent working oven and a roasting pan?
We've got a golf club, but yes, I mean here, yes. What have I got?
Aim for the head and throw them in the oven.
We've got an axe. That's better. Got an axe here. Yeah.
That's even better. Like, you know.
Oh, I thought about it.
Change your game of golf to geese slaughter.
Yeah. Oh, I've thought about it. Don't you? Yeah. I've seen this geese hissing at me, mate. You'd be much better putting a pan in the oven.
Like, is it illegal to kill them over there? Because, like, you could just slaughter a bunch of them and fill up your roasting pan.
You know, I don't think it is illegal. The only problem you could possibly have is about animal cruelty if they suffered. But because they're wild, not owned by anyone, I'm sure that killing wild geese is not illegal unless they suffer. If you make a mess of killing them and cause animal suffering, then you get arrested. But I think, yep.
I don't like that, because the messier the way you kill the animal, the less it suffers. I mean, if you get a piece of dynamite and you throw it at the goose and it explodes, that's messy. But the goose dies instantly.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is, if you make a mess, like you have to take 5 whacks at it, that kind of messy. I mean, if you blow it up, it's a clean kill, but messy. You know, if it's entrails everywhere, but it's instant death, that's okay. But if you have to take 5 whacks at it, so it's small cuts, then you're in trouble. But if you just blow it to bits, yeah, no problem then. Yeah, no problem. There's no problem with putting entrails everywhere, as long as it's done quick. But you're not allowed to kill the swans, of course. The swans are protected.
Here you are allowed to get them during duck suiting the duck license sometimes.
Okay. Well, I've heard swans
At
horrible.
least that's what I was told when I was given swan to eat. I didn't kill it myself.
All right. What is that? I've heard swan's horrible. It tastes sort of like a fishy form of chicken. Is that right?
Oh no, swan tastes like a mixture of beef, duck, and venison. And you got to cook it with sage and onion stuffing though, or else it tastes weird. But when it's cooked with sage and onion stuffing, it's like, oh my god, it's delicious.
Wow, that's fantastic. I know that heron tastes like apparently there's that fishy duck, fishy chicken, right? So, okay, because some of the swans, although you're not allowed to eat them, some of the swans around here were killed and eaten because what happened was we had a load of Polish immigrants because they were misled that they can get jobs. They arrived, they had no money, so they were sleeping in tents. And they had no money, so going hungry. So some of them did kill and eat some of the swans. You know, so they arrived on the plane. We've been told to get promised jobs and things, and there was too many for the job agencies. So these poor people found themselves sleeping in woods and tents with no money. I thought, how are they going to survive? So some of the swans got chopped up and cooked.
Oh, and by the way, that's a bread stuffing. That's not a sausage stuffing. Like, I know Americans have a different kind of stuffing to us.
Yeah, so is that a Paxo? Yeah, I've got a Paxo stuffing. Gotcha.
Like, if you're going to illegally eat swans, do it properly.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're going to break the law, do it properly.
Yes. That's what I always say when somebody tells me they're going to go commit murder. Okay, here's the sulfuric acid, here's the hacksaw, do it properly.
Yeah. Don't make a botch of it. Dispose the body properly. No body makes it more difficult to prosecute. A lot more difficult if they can't find a body. That's the point. What you got to do is you sort the body, dissolve it in the acid, but what you got to do is You got to open up the drain to remove the fillings. The fillings don't dissolve in the acid, so you got to take out the fillings. Otherwise, the
And
police
the
will
teeth
open the crate.
and the enamel of the teeth doesn't dissolve either. But if you crush it up into a powder and you sprinkle it into the cop's garden and you pour the neutralized acid into the cop's garden afterwards, after it's been neutralized, it fertilizes his garden and nobody knows where to look for the body.
That's right.
This conversation is fantastic.
I'm giving you bad advice deliberately so you get caught.
I'm just reveling in the comedy that we can talk about this until we're purple in the face, but there are a half dozen topics that we dare not speak of on YouTube.
Yeah, like the flu that's going around. We can't talk about the flu that's going around, but I can give you excellent advice about. You've got you've done away with the person, you've cut the body, dissolved the body. Now open the grate, get the fillings out from under the sink, and dispose of the fillings. But we can't. And we can't.
I've been on channels that have been knocked down for mentioning the chew going around. But the moment you talk about making white phosphorus and other things, that's fine.
Right.
Well, this has turned into a very, very pleasant stream, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, YouTube, this is on Dalek 451 stream. He endorses all this. He's hosting this.
Yeah, he endorses all that we say.
No, I do not.
In fact, he tries it all out himself.
Are you trying to get me banned from YouTube?
Probably.
No, but I'm trying to embarrass you.
No, just arrest it. Look, we're going to make you famous. You'll be on TV. There'll be the TV news reporter saying, today Dalek 451 was taken to court. Making white phosphorus and disposal of corpses.
Oh my giddy aunt.
Yeah. You came back just in time, didn't you, Captain?
I did. What have I missed? Anything good?
We were just talking about what to do with you.
Yes, we were talking about disposal.
Yeah. How do we solve the you problem?
Yeah, we're talking about cleaning up. We were.
How many fillings do you have, Captain?
that.
Do you have any fillings, Captain? How are your teeth?
Yes, that's an important point.
Yeah, I'm afraid I took the fillings out so they can't find me.
Oh,
do you?
Okay. Well,
do you
that's
have,
one step
do you have
less for us.
Do you have any allergies or sensitivities to heavy metals that we should be aware of?
Yes, Milton. I'm allergic to boring fuckwits.
But would you say deadly allergic or not?
They just make me yawn.
Actually, Dalek, do you mind if I bring up a fan theory that I put in the bottom of the captain's chat just as he was closing up shop?
Oh, yes.
Wait, a fan theory in the captain's chat. Yeah, I think I remember that. Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. The fan theory is regarding the Matrix trilogy, not passing judgment on the property itself, but a speculative way to rewatch it. An idea that I came up with that all of the previous Neos prior to the Keanu Reeves Neo are actually in the storyline presented as bosses, I guess you could say, within the plot. So the fan theory goes that all 6 universes are represented in the Matrix by Smith, the Machiavellian, the Train Man, and I think his name is Seraph.
Okay, this is a bit for my channel. This is a bit more like an actual.
There you go.
This is a bit of pop culture theory. This is good. Keep this going.
Okay. So just to lay it out much more clearly and precisely, because I was basically asking way. So in the storyline, the architect says that it's been about 6 times that this universe has looped. And we're presented with the notion by the architect that each Neo had a choice, whether or not to go back and reset so that they could try running the Matrix again, or to try and save Trinity, right? So there's also a Trinity involved in this loop. And based on this fan theory, although I can't see all of the characters in my own analysis, I do recognize that.
Yes, I'm glad that worked.
What analysis?
There is a.
What do you think of this?
Silver.
Looking good.
What do you all think of this?
Oh, is this a new avatar for you?
Yeah, this is what I was mentioned earlier. This is what Potato Revan sent me as a new avatar. I just uploaded it just now. What do you think?
You look
I
sexy,
think the background
It's
is a bit of a distraction.
It's
but
a
the Dalek's
Dalek.
good.
It's a Dalek in anime style. Like
You look sexy, girlfriend.
I think I agree with the captain that you could lose the artwork in the background of the shot. Maybe just static out the screen. But I do like the art.
Look, you go, girl. You go, girl.
I like the old one better. It stands out more. But maybe if you, like they said, you took the background out.
Yeah, the background's killing it, Dalek. Got to lose that background.
What's wrong with the backgrounds?
Well, you asked an opinion. That's the opinion. We all agree. The background, it's distracting, Dalek. I can't even see the silver Dalek because I'm looking at the fucking background. That's what's wrong with it. What do you want? A BTEC National Diploma in Graphic Design?
All right.
Fuck me. He asked the opinion. We all say the same thing. Now we've got to fucking write him an essay as to why. Because we said so, Dalek. That's why.
Anyway, it looks like Scotty's back. I have a deathly error.
Yeah,
and yet Cap hangs with me.
We love you, Scotty.
Son of a red shirt has tuned in. Hi, son of a red shirt.
Son of a red shirt says at Dalek451 and all the very cool people assembled here and Milton. Evening. I hope everyone's having an excellent good fellowship and company. So sorry I can't stay. Just dropping in to comment and leave a like before I run off to watch a cartoon that conflates dinosaurs with cavemen.
Well, thank you very much, son of a red shirt, for coming in. And Hakeem says, "Nice one," which I'm guessing he's referring to my new avatar.
Yeah, nice one. Apart from the background, which is highly distracting.
I only noticed the background.
I'm just thinking in scale that when the image is just a bullet in a comment section, it won't even be recognizable as a Dalek anymore.
It's just going to be a mush. It's going to be all background, no Dalek. See, all I can see is a silver smudge and this incredibly detailed background image of a painting.
Maybe use it as a banner or something.
Okay, so this doesn't really work, does it?
Well, the Dalek's amazing, but you've got to lose that background because I'm just like, what's that painting? What's the story? What's going on there? You know what I mean? It's like, so many levels. I mean, it's like Las Meninas, isn't it? It's like, am I looking at this or this? Do you know what I mean? It's so. I mean, it's post-impressionistic in a way.
I wasn't going
to. And yet pre-Raphaelite.
Well, the idea with this, like I said, it's basically it's a Dalek drawn in a setting of an anime or anime style. Because
that's all fine.
And the idea was I was going to use it.
Yes.
If I was doing a stream or was guesting in a stream where we're discussing anime.
Right, yeah. See, Dalek good, anime style good, reason for using it in an anime style good, distracting background bad. So you can see the through line that we're all. Do you know what It's not the.
So I need to.
You're kind of focusing on the wrong.
So I need to edit out the background.
Need to lose that background, make it a nice flat grey, or maybe a flat green to make it like a colour inverse of your current logo, thus making a third link between the two icons, as if the whole thing's not thrown together by accident.
That or make the background black so you're floating.
And Dalek, isn't it a cartoon considering it wasn't done in Japan?
Oh, for fuck's sake, get with this guy.
Is it anime or manga?
Wow.
Crying out loud. Get me Benji.
Anyway,
I know it wasn't a hentai.
Okay, look. All right, look. Okay,
fucking guys.
Before I showed you all that, wasn't Steven in the middle of something?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. My little Matrix thing, yes. And
yeah,
the host never interrupts.
Please continue with that.
Oh, well,
something about Polish immigrant duck murder.
Yeah, exactly. And teeth, and lots of teeth, and pulling out fillings, and oh god, that's sounding awfully holocaustic, isn't it? Holocaustic.
Yeah, evidently I can't play a lawfully good. I can't play a chaotic good character in Dungeons and Dragons. That's a cannibal that pulls out teeth.
Right.
They weren't killing anybody. They were just like needed to resupply, and they took a limb. Like evidently, that's not chaotic good.
You know, I mentioned it in the chat at the captain's live stream, and by the way, the notification told me 7 p.m. was when you were starting your live stream, Dalek, and that is why I didn't show up until 7.
Yeah, I got the same thing. I just ignored it because I know what Dalek's
I didn't check back. I figured it said 113 minutes until your stream went up, and I was like, oh, okay, so I've got some time. I started watching a couple episoas.
Yeah, I got the same thing I did.
Okay, I can see why you'd probably be confused by that because you know, with StreamYard, when I was setting this stream up, I wanted to like just quickly add in my usual thumbnail pic. So to do that, I have to click the schedule option, and that's what actually lets me add in the thumbnail, and so I click.
Doesn't know what frickin' time it is because I tried to schedule one and it doesn't know what time it is in New Zealand. So
I mean, Captain, when you create a broadcast, what do you do?
I just go live and start talking.
You just push new broadcast.
Well, I tried to schedule one as an experiment about 3 days ago, and StreamYard doesn't know what time it is. So there was confusion immediately. I thought it was doing it an hour earlier than I thought. It's basically StreamYard is at fault. StreamYard, pull your finger out, you fucking muppets.
Well,
they literally don't know what time it is.
Like I said, I only clicked the schedule.
Anyway, are we going to hear about this fan theory, or are we going to talk about time zones all day? You're going to bark. I think you're going to bite.
Well, you did ask about the scheduling thing,
and I did bring it up as well. So
I wasn't really scheduling it for that time. I was I only clicked on the scheduling thing so I could put the thumbnail in because you don't necessarily have to start when you schedule it to start.
As you just proved. Because you started an hour earlier than the scheduled time, or an hour and 43 minutes, or whatever it was. So you're right. The schedule means nothing, basically. It's just an arbitrary time that you type in that's you're held to.
When you create a broadcasting stream, you can schedule it or not bother to schedule it. And I just click the schedule option.
In fact, from now on,
then just went straight ahead and started it.
I'm going to do it to throw people off. If you ever see me on YouTube with a scheduled stream, ignore the time it says. I'm just fucking with you. So it's a little game I'm going to play from now on. Whatever time it says, it's wrong. Oh, what is the time? Is it like 90 minutes of what it says, Captain? I'm not going to tell you. Just whatever it says, it's wrong. There you go.
Anyway, sorry about all the interruptions.
No,
Steven.
no worries.
So so go on with your
So
theory.
the Matrix is an anime or a manga?
The Matrix is the films that came out 1, 2, 3, starting in 1999. Came out with Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne and it's a bunch of other guys. Lawrence Fishburne, yeah.
Carrie Ann Moss.
Yes, yeah. It's that old thing that their Warner Brothers desperately tried to destroy before they sold themselves to another company. So if you're all familiar with the plot line, that alternate universe and it's all inside their heads because it's the Matrix and there's a rebel faction and everything like that. I mean, you guys are familiar with the property?
Yeah. Oh, at the ultimate level, it's KFC guy.
Right. The architect, as I refer.
Yeah, KFC guy. That's why everything tastes like chicken.
Yeah, like I said, no judgment on the story itself. It's certainly an interesting property. It certainly created a boatload of memeable concepts for the masses, and everybody seemed to enjoy it when it was first getting going, and things broke up after that. But nonetheless, an ambitious effort by Hollywood to bring a very interesting concept to the main audience. I mean, it was only a conspiracy theory before that film came out, and now it's like every teenager on Earth is thinking about whether or not they're living in a simulation. So it certainly was effective.
Yep.
But the fan theory goes, and this is completely my creation, I've never heard any evidence to prove that my fan theory is anywhere near probable. But the idea is that the 3 movies reveal all previous incarnations of Neo in the form of the Smith agent, in the form of Machiavelli, not Machiavelli, the Merovingian, and his girlfriend, the train man,
Monica Bellucci.
Yeah, what a gorgeous. No one ever sported latex like her before.
Yeah, I like some Monica all over that Bellucci.
And I came up with the idea when rewatching the second movie. She asks Neo for a kiss and refers to the Merovingian as being like him a long time ago. And then I made the attachment that Smith literally becomes him in the third movie by being contaminated from the first movie. So then I just started picking up details and collecting evidence.
All we need to know about the Matrix is the Matrix is real. And we know this because the 2 men that made the Matrix are ladies now. They're ladies now.
Yeah, like I said, judgment is a real problem, and that's why I prefer animation over cinema, because cinema doesn't have this sort of celebrity thing going on. I mean, animation doesn't have the same kind of celebrity thing going on.
Yeah, sometimes I wish they'd just go all CG so we could get beyond the politics and
yeah,
the baloney. Yeah.
No, screw that.
Well, you like all this drama from all these actors and actresses having to go to their head?
I like the opposite. What about Waking Life with the rotoscoping and Scanner Darkly, Richard Linklater, where it's actors but they're also animated, so it's a bit of both.
Good stuff.
Well, we're still recognizing them as Winona and
yes. So they are still. That's interesting, isn't it? They're animated, but they are still recognizably actors, as you say.
Yeah, one could say that they're not animated; they're rotoscoped, which is a kind of filter you put on the camera.
So it's a different
the camera
thing.
is still seeing them.
Well, they're doing it with Luke. I mean, Luke isn't really there. They're just pasting him on. He's all CG.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is the inherent problem. In Japan, there's a property called Tenchi Moyu that's been literally running continuously since its inception in the early 70s, and the animation style hasn't changed the whole time. So there is no
Wait.
celebrity in the characters.
Wait. Tenchi Muyo has been going that long?
It's been going on for a very long time. Early 80s at best.
I
At
knew.
the longest.
No. I knew it was from like.
No.
It's not. It is old, but it's not quite that old. It's at least from the 90s, I think.
I don't know about that.
Animes for
Actually, I would have
nerds.
to look it up.
No. I'm pretty sure it is from like the mid 90s.
Well, we could settle this. We have, Google Plexes at our fingertips.
Look, who's the Reds? Who knows the most about anime here?
Well, not you. You've never even seen Battle of the Planets. That's like entry level.
Oh my
You
god!
won't-
Am I going to have to look this up?
What about you? Look,
I mean,
you
everyone
won't
here has
you
seen
won't
Battle
even
of the
tell me
Planets,
what
right?
I wish Brett. I wish Brett.
You
the
won't
anime
even tell
guy
me
was
whether
here.
or not half the things are animes or cartoons.
Well, I wish Amelia Clark was here. What's your point?
Is Amelia Clark an anime or a cartoon?
Both.
I don't know who that is.
So does
You don't know
Scotty?
who Amelia Clark is? Get him off my show.
I don't know who that is
Get off!
either.
Get off my get off my show
Now,
and go
what
do
are you
your
do-
own.
Why are you doing this on Captain Cockney's show?
What?
Exactly. You come
Amelia
onto my
Clark is the
channel
hot
without
one
knowing
in
who
Solo.
Amelia Clark is.
You
How
can't bully
dare
me
you.
off my own show.
Your show?
No,
Who do
we
you
can't.
think
This
you
is
are?
Captain Cockney's.
Don't make me mute you. It's my channel. I'm in the middle.
It's in the middle. Not anymore, you're not.
Oh, I talked myself out of that one, folks. Oh, I blundered into that one. I like the way you got all the Stevens together like it's alphabetical. It's the Stevens corner.
Steven.
Yeah, you're
still got
you're
two of
right,
them.
Alec. It's
No, you got two Stevens, even number, even Stevens.
Now Dalek's in the
Yeah,
middle.
it's,
we can bully
early
him more
90s.
efficiently.
I thought as much. Yeah, about 90.
but the character designs have literally not changed since it first came out.
I know.
It's the same reason why we think comic book lore, and
Makes
by
sense.
the same definition, science fiction novel lore should be maintained, because we all have a set identity that supersedes live action adaptations.
Oh, transmedia canonical verisimilitude.
It usually takes something pretty extreme in a long running show for the designs of the characters to fundamentally change. For example, that best example it comes to me is One Piece, where like halfway through the series, all the characters went away and they came back looking very different than they did before. That's because there was a 2-year gap.
Mm-hmm. A time jump.
Yeah, a time skip of 2 years. Yeah, and that was basically jump. And they went this Luffy and his crew went off. They went off to train to get stronger, and of course after 2 years they came back looking very different because they were stronger, they were older,
Well, that's not changing the anime style. That's making the characters literally grow up.
Well, exactly. Right. Well, yes, that's what I mean.
Right.
Like the style of Adventure Time didn't really change. It was the fact that Jake and Finn were actually growing up, and you could actually tell that by some of the other characters around them.
So I guess my point about animation is that Hollywood doesn't understand, or anybody looking to adapt a property into a brand new identity doesn't understand the concept of lightning in a bottle. They don't understand what that means at all. If they're trying to recreate Star Wars, recreate Star Trek, by going backwards and recasting. That's never going to work. I don't think that there's a historical precedent, but I would imagine that something like Darren in Bewitched is a perfect example of the only way you could get away with it is in a magical universe.
Well, here's the thing about Star Wars that I think Disney's overlooked because they're idiots. Star Wars is set in a universe far, far away. You can change the
No, it's
actors
set in a
because-
galaxy far, far away. Are you?
Sorry.
Oi, Amber Heard in the corner. Are you using
Sorry,
galaxy
I am
universe
corrected.
synonymously?
Yes, long
Galaxy,
time ago in a
same
galaxy
universe,
far, far
same
away.
laws of
You are correct.
physics, same.
But
They all
anyway.
talk English. Probably the same star system if you think about it. Tatooine is Earth.
But
Spoiler alert. Same gravity, same English language.
Still, see, all they had to do is just have different people because it was set in a galaxy far, far away. It's not like it wasn't called the Tales of Princess Leia. It wasn't called the Tales of Luke. It was called Star Wars.
Right.
It certainly
Like-
wasn't called A New Hope.
I
Yeah.
never had hope got me.
Well,
I'm
speaking
old
of
enough to remember
prequels,
that.
I guess Mad Max is going to be a Furiosa movie instead of a Mad Max movie.
Oh,
I don't understand why they even bother. It's like I'm telling you, it's necromancy. What
Well,
they've been
there's-
doing with
Necromancy is
cinema
the
these days
communication
is
of
a
the
form
dead.
of necromancy.
You know, there's no.
Necromancy is the communication of the dead and was outlawed in biblical times by the Bible. That is actually the form of magic that's directly outlawed. That's the type of witchcraft and sorcery that you are not supposed to partake in. But other types are completely fine. Get your facts right, man.
Well, regardless of the
Alright,
legality.
Anyway, there's no stakes because you know Furiosa is going to live because she's in
Okay,
Thunder
looks
Road.
it looks like I don't think Scotty's gonna come back. So we're gonna
See, does he have the blue screen of death or what? What's his deal?
This
it's-
franchise is dead. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. It's dead. It's pining
No,
for
it's-
the fjords. No, it's perfectly fine. Look, Star Wars is fine. Propping it up. Look, there's Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
This is an X franchise. This franchise is dead.
It's a vacation with Bernie. That's what it is. That's what it's become.
Anyway, what
Weekend
do
at
you guys
Kathleen's.
think about Doctor Who, eh?
Same thing. I mean, it's just Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek.
Star
I mean,
Trek.
it's like they're
like-
all the same thing at this point.
Yeah.
I want to see Doctor Who, Star Wars, and Star Trek all do a crossover episode.
No, they're all dead. So it'd be a zombie episode, wouldn't it?
Isn't that called
It's-
metaverse
isn't-
at this point? I mean, isn't that what they're going for? Isn't that what these new sandboxes online are all about? Where you just buy your favorite characters and clunk them together like action figures?
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah,
What?
agreed.
I'm doing a Dalek right now. I'm so sorry, Dalek. I know what it feels like. I must have really hurt your brain. I'm so sorry, man.
What? Oh.
You know how like you'll have difficulty computing some of the questions I ask because they're really dumb.
Yeah. Right.
I'm so sorry. I know what it feels like.
All right. I think I'm gonna. Like I was trying to say, I don't think Scotty's gonna turn up. So I'm gonna end this at 3 hours.
Oh.
Oh,
See, there was an animatrix, but was there a manga matrix?
Ooh. Have you? Hey, maybe it's Among Us.
It was a video game Matrix. What would that be
True
called?
story.
I'm looking at gold matrices right now. I'm not even kidding. Wait for my camera to turn on. Well, I am looking at them. My camera's just like, there we go. See, look. Oh,
Look,
see, look. That's
what
a
is
crystal
that?
matrix of gold. That's a crystal matrix of gold. They take on a few different crystal shapes. I can't remember how many different shapes, but it's actually gold takes on, when it crystallizes, it takes on more shapes than most other things. It can grow like a flower, it can grow like snowflakes, it can grow in diamond shapes. It's actually really interesting. Some of the plate formations are really cool.
What affects the different versions?
I think it's a mixture of the temperature and what's around them. Gold crystals are extremely rare though, so don't quote me on that. Like gold nuggets are common as opposed to gold crystals. It's one of the metals that has one of the rarest crystals on the planet. It's not as rare as pure naturally forming metallic calcium though. Or it's not even as rare as like aluminium crystals. It's like, I know people go aluminium's man-made, but there is crystals that do form in nature. It's just they're excessively rare.
Yeah, there's an incredible science behind crystal formation that fascinates me deeply. Actually, Captain might be interested in some of this. There's a notion that we can speculate on what the most quantifiable materials are in the universe by looking at how old some of these crystal forms are, gauging it almost directly on how easily they can be formed under various circumstances, which would prove that they would be existing throughout the galaxy because of rarity being a delineation, basically.
Oh, this is classic cubular pyrite, which is different to the pyramid-shaped and diamond-shaped pyrites, but that's classic cubular-shaped pyrite. That's just a nice specimen. I actually, if I grab it, I do have a relatively perfect cube of it. Well, I've misplaced my cube, but I'll grab just another piece from the ground. I've misplaced my cube of it, but here's a piece of my cubular pyrite, which isn't actually, ironically, it isn't actually a cube.
Let's have a proper look at this.
It's only like a $2 stone. That's a piece of put it in camera. It's just a piece of cubular pyrite. I'll actually try cleaning my camera lens.
That's pretty. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not like my galena or anything like that. I got antinomine. I got raw natural antinomine. I got that stuff lead and silver's found, and I forget the name of it, but that comes from England. I actually got a very large rock collection, but yeah, this is pyrite. Known as fool's gold. But you'll get real gold.
That's fool's gold. Fool's gold.
Yeah. This is silver pyrite, but if it's been heated at any stage, it turns a golden color, and it happens quite commonly naturally. And it's like, so you get golden fool's gold. And yeah. A rule of thumb with gold, when it's in most natural formations, excluding some very rare crystals, so all that glitters is not gold. Because, if it's glittering, it means it's not. It means that the porous factor has been removed from it, which means it's not naturally formed gold. Because naturally formed gold is slightly porous, like a naturally formed iron magnet. While we're talking about rocks, we've got some water quartz and stuff. Screw it, I'm not going to show off more rocks. I'd have to actually put effort into my life to grab it. I don't want to put effort into my life, so I'm not going to grab my rock collection, and my phone cable don't go that far. My rock collection isn't that extensive. I've only spent like 30 grand on it.
30 grand on a bunch of rocks. Wow.
Yeah, I got half a mastodon tooth, which is a type of mammoth, and I got a few fossilized trilobites and things. The dinosaur I couldn't afford. It was 1,200, and like I only brought it with my pocket money each week.
Welcome to
That's what a kid spends. That's what a kid spends their money on when you give them $200 or pocket money each week. That was to cover you. That was to actually cover anything I needed. Like my parents made me have to pay for my dietary shakes and everything, which was the only food I could eat for a while. Is it counted as eating when you have to inject it down a tube?
Yes. That's me being brave and just putting it out there. I say yes. If you're intravenous is also considered food. If you're nutrating yourself, I would consider it food.
It's like
because
it's
your body
weird.
does.
Like when it was cold, I could feel it going through the tube up the nostril and down the throat. It was like really weird.
In much the same way that drinking out of a bottle would probably feel weird the first time you did it, or if you did it infrequently.
Oh my god! Like the first time I could eat and drink after all that for a while, like I was coughing and spluttering. But that's why I fucking love lime water, is because that was the first thing I could drink was a bottle of pump lime water, and it was like I was coughing and hacking because like I wasn't allowed to do it for such a long period of time. But it was like the weird thing is like the desire to drink something doesn't actually go away no matter how much water you inject down your nose. It just doesn't go away. And it was like yeah, manna from heaven. Like it was like the best thing I ever purchased.
Yeah, I would suggest that the need to drink or the desire to drink is goes way beyond just your lifespan. I would say that it's that it has to do with species. That it's a deeper memory than your own individual life. I don't think it's like just because you've been drinking, your whole life, you don't feel the thirst go away. I don't think that's. I think it's connected much more deeply than that. But I believe in some pretty strange stuff.
Oh, like when my throat got tore up the second time and I needed to like go back on the tube, like that, like the first time wasn't too bad. The second time was really bad because I remembered what it was like actually fucking consuming shit, and I wasn't like taking off food for like weeks beforehand. So it was like I actually had to go through the process of kind of withdrawing from eating. Because the first time for the first 2 weeks I was knocked out basically, but the second time I was like fully conscious the whole time, and it was like I just couldn't stand even watching ads at that point. It's like you'll be yeah.
Actually, as a side note, I was finding it quite hysterical that when we were all locked down, how many YouTube commercials were dealing with alcohol. And I'm thinking to myself, God, this is really irresponsible of them. I mean, how many people are in lockdown right now that really need a drink and just gave it up just before lockdown, and now they're going to break their habit again? I just thought it was cruel. It was pissing me off on top of so many other things at the time.
I always think the anti-vaping ads are funny because so many people quit because they didn't want to be coughing and such for COVID, and then they're just triggering people after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was inconsiderate, considering how considerate we're all supposed to be nowadays. It was.
I don't know. I think we're still beasts at the core. Still beasts.
Of course we are. That's why we find it so rude to even suggest such a thing.
Well, that goes back to the whole.
I will admit,
if we lived in a world where everyone carried a sword, then people would be a lot more fucking polite. Now, I'll tell you what, if I went on that Matt Foulball show and it was actually in a pub we all had swords, he wouldn't be so fucking rude, would he?
I will admit, I am cruel enough to point out to people that don't have working ovens how great it is to home bake your cookies. But they can buy cookies at the supermarket, so I'm not being that.
And
that's 3 hours.
And I've hit, and that's 3 hours. So
Oh, goodness for that.
and
It is
almost
running out of conversation.
it is almost 4:15 in the morning. I am getting tired, so I think I'm definitely gonna and Scotty never actually came back, so I'm gonna end this here. So
Well, good night, sweetie.
well, anyway, thank you to everyone on the panel who showed up. Thank you, Captain Time Spock. Thank you, Milton Knowles. Thank you, Milton. Thank you, Stephen Ransom. Thank you, Amore. Thank you, Edge of Time, and thank you to everyone in the chat at Time Prophet, Pop Culture Curator. And of course, Scotty R37 and Hakeem. I think I think that covers everybody. So again, thank you everybody for coming on. This has been a pretty good stream, but I really do need to end things here. So from the surface of Skaro, this is Dalek 451 signing off. I will see you all next time. Good night, everybody.
And the M bell.